Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be getting some information about a person or people in your life who may be secretly jealous of you. Even if it turns out that nobody in your life is really jealous of you, there might be somebody in your energy field who might not have the best intentions, or this could just be like a way to for Spirit to recognize the things that you have in your life to feel grateful for, that people who are in a lower vibrational energy might be jealous of, even if you don't necessarily have many of those types of people in your immediate social circle. So we'll see what comes out in the cards. This, again, is just a way to maybe get some insight into what's going on in your energy field. And with that said, feel free to pause the video, pick whichever pile is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello, Pile 1, and welcome to your reading about who is secretly jealous of you. This could be one person, it could be multiple people, or this could just be Spirit's way of saying that these are things that people could potentially be jealous of about you, just because, there are things that that other people admire about you, and people who are operating in a a lower vibrational way might develop feelings of jealousy about that. So we'll see what comes out in the cards, and if you chose the dizzy face emoji, then this is going to be your reading for today. I didn't realize this was supposed to be dizzy, but I looked it up and that is what it is, so that's interesting. And so we're going to start with the Oracle cards, which I have already pulled for you. And we will see what they say. So, all right, so the first card we have is the Full Moon in Leo, which says, don't let pride get in your way. So, immediately this is giving me a vibe about maybe some competitiveness, maybe something to do with somebody's pride or ego. People might see you if you have a certain level of confidence, even if even if it's an affected confidence, in the sense that you're just kind of fake it till you make it. I'm going to pretend to be confident, and then the confidence will come. Or it could just be people are they perceive you as being very confident, and certain people might misperceive that or misunderstand that to be pride, in the sense of egotism. So I think that there are some people in this world who don't understand that, it's okay to be confident in who you are, and that's not necessarily a negative thing. It's not, it's not taking anything away from anybody else to know that you are beautiful and amazing and worthy of love. That's not a negative thing, but certain people might interpret it to be that way, maybe through their own experiences, or maybe they might be projecting things onto you. So that's something that's coming through here. And then the other thing is, there could also be, I know that this, for me, people have told me this sometimes about my energy, is that I tend to be a little bit more reserved in new social situations. That's just the way that I am. It's the way I've always been. I just kind of try to protect my energy in unfamiliar situations, and people have told me that that can come across as me being stuck up. And I'm I don't know how they make that mental connection. That doesn't really make sense to me. I'm not trying to give off those vibes, but certain people can interpret things that way. So that might be something that is resonating for you, and this could also be saying that, if you have people in your life who they have a big ego, or they are, maybe a little bit narcissistic, this could be their energy coming through, if that resonates for you. And this could also be saying you might be, a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or the person who is jealous of you might be Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, if that is resonating for you. And then the next card we have is my first time using this deck, because I love dragons. This is the Magenta Dragon. It says, enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom, awaken your soul memories, and higher spiritual understanding, prepare for accelerated ascension. Which is interesting. So the first thing that I'm noticing is we do have fire. I mean, it is a dragon, but we have the fire on this card, and then we have the the full moon in Leo, which is a fire sign, and then kind of this orangey color. So this person or people in your life might see you as being very passionate. They might see you as being very kind of like fiery, and you know, they might like pick up on a Leonine energy from you, even if you don't have those placements. Like even if you don't have any Leo in your chart, or any fire in your chart, you might come across as fiery, or you might have come across as fiery to one specific person, and this is how they have interpreted your energy. If that's resonating for you. And then what's interesting is that, you know, this is a very spiritual card. It's about your soul wisdom. So even though people might perceive you, and especially if somebody is projecting their own egotism onto you, they might perceive you as being maybe like overconfident or egotistical in some way. They also can recognize that you have a real depth, like it says soul member. Like they might see you as an old soul, to put it that way, and somebody who's very spiritually connected. They might see you as somebody who has like a keenly developed sense of intuition. You know, you're very in touch with your soul wisdom here, and it might be there might be a connection that how do I want to put this? The concept is coming to me, but it's not in words. So there might be a connection between your sacral chakra, which is like about emotions and creativity and sexuality. That might be a way in which you express your connection to your spirituality, to your past lives, to your intuition. You might have like divine gifts that are connected with creativity. You might, or honestly, or sexuality, you know, just take that however it resonates. Or like your emotions, like you might just have a deep, innate understanding of other people's emotions and your own emotions. You might be very empathic, and that's like through your connection to past lives, things that your soul knows, that you have learned over several lifetimes that you're bringing into this lifetime. And then it says prepare for accelerated ascension. So you might be going through like a spiritual ascension right now, and other people can see that about you, and they're jealous of that. They're jealous of your connection to spirit. They're jealous of your like the things that you just seem to know, that you just seem to innately understand, that are coming from past lives, from your soul wisdom. They might be jealous of the way that you express yourself. If you feel like you have a solid sacral chakra, like an open sacral chakra, they might be jealous of that. And they might be jealous because you have a certain level of confidence that you know, that a lot of people don't have. But again, there's nothing wrong with being confident, with feeling good about yourself. This person might also be jealous. You know, there's a connection between Leo and hair, because the lions have like this big, beautiful mane of hair. There might be a connection. They might be jealous of your hair. If that resonates for you, this card I also associate with the solar plexus, because it's that yellowy color. It's connected with the sun, and it's connected with Leo, and that's all like kind of a solar plexus energy, which does speak about confidence and self-esteem, and willpower and determination as well. So they might see you as like a very determined person. And another way to interpret this that just came to me is with don't let pride get in your way. This person or people or whoever is thinking about you this way, they might see you as somebody who doesn't let pride get in their way. Like somebody who, this could be like the reverse message, where they see you as somebody who's humble, and not prideful and not egotistical, and that's something that they're jealous of, because they might have issues with self-esteem, or with, you know, trying to find a balance between confidence and overconfidence, or you know, or like a healthy level of self-esteem versus like being egotistical or selfish or narcissistic. You know, it's like it could be hard for this person or these people to kind of find the balance there themselves, and so they might be jealous of you because they see that you can be confident without being prideful. If that, like, you can be proud without being prideful, if that makes sense. I hope I'm communicating that clearly. But there's a message here about confidence, self-esteem, will, determination, and how connected you are with your intuition and your innate wisdom. And there are messages again about creativity and being really in touch with your emotions and having a deep understanding of the emotions of yourself and other people, probably because of things that you have learned over the course of many lifetimes. And you might be going through a spiritual ascension, and this person is jealous of that. And then we have athlete, the light attributes of the athlete archetype. It says, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So definitely personal willpower, strength of spirit right there. And then with transcending physical limits, we can interpret this multiple ways. You could be really into fitness. You could be an athlete. And if you are, then might be something that somebody is jealous of, because they might not have the same passion and dedication as you do to whatever you're doing. This could be saying it could be not connected with physical health at all, and just be talking about this person. I think I was picking up on an energy of competitiveness with the pride of the Leo card here, and then athlete. Athletes are usually involved in some sort of competition, even if it's just a competition with themselves. And so this person could be somebody who wants to compete with you or is trying to compete with you. If you know somebody like that in your life who's very competitive, it might not be like in a negative way, because this is the light attributes of the athlete card. But this could be part of their energy, part of your energy. This could be related to how you know this person, or this could just be saying like this person recognizes your dedication and consistency. And definitely I would see this being connected with again, it says personal willpower, very connected with the solar plexus here, with the don't let pride get in your way, the full moon in Leo, and then strength of spirit I would definitely connect that with the magenta dragon, because this is about your connection to spirit. And this card is also the color of kind of like the third eye chakra. So this person could be saying, if you are resonating with the idea of like being into fitness, or maybe you have like one particular physical activity that you really enjoy, maybe you're outdoorsy and you like to go hiking or on long walks, maybe you like to swim, however this applies to you, if you're resonating with that message, this could be saying that this person recognizes, maybe if you've been like making progress towards a goal that's related to fitness, or however that applies to you, this person can see the progress that you're making. And I don't necessarily think it's just that they're jealous of, if the way that your body looks is changing, if you're putting on muscle or like just reshaping your body in some way. This person, they might be jealous of that, of the way that you look. They might also be jealous of the fact that if you are doing that, if this is resonating for you, that you are showing up every day, like you're putting in the consistency to see a positive result, and that you're showing up for yourself. And that idea of showing up for yourself could still apply to how this person sees you and what they might be jealous of, even if it doesn't apply to physical health. Like there is a way we could interpret this card that is not associated with physical health at all. It's just again, it's about like showing up every day and doing something that you feel passionate about. We have this fiery, passionate energy, even if it's like a completely mental hobby, but it's like you're putting the work into to seeing a result. And again, like that idea of even if you're not competing with other people, still like competing with yourself in the terms of like, okay, I did this much yesterday, so today I'm going to try to do a little bit more. It's that kind of energy, dedication, and the idea of progress over perfection. That I think if that is resonating for you as something that you recognize in yourself, then that is something other people also recognize in you, and something that they might be jealous of. So, and again, like I want to say, with all these cards and all these spreads, first of all, if nothing that I'm saying is resonating for you, this might not be your pile. But if you find that that it's like kind of resonating, it could also be like these are all just based on people's perception of you, and it might not be 100% accurate to how you actually are or to how you see yourself. But this person might have a reason. Like there might have been like one particular circumstance where they saw one side of you, or they saw you doing one particular activity, or you had like one interaction that left an impression on this person that might not be a totally accurate impression, but this is just based on how they see you. So I wanted to say that before we go any further, just as a disclaimer. And then we have, okay. So try and fit the cards in here. Okay, we have confusion, which is connected with the crown chakra. And this card carries a particular message about needing to have faith that you're being divinely guided and spiritually guided, even when you can't see the path forward, or even when you cannot hear the voices of your spirit guides, even when you are beginning to lose faith. It's like the core principle of faith is having a belief despite maybe a lack of physical evidence. You know, it's like maintaining that belief in the face of like an obstacle or something like that. That's how I interpret faith. And this card is about faith. It's like you're feeling confused because you can't see the way forward. It's foggy, it's cloudy. Maybe you've been trying to connect with your spirit guides. You've been trying to figure out what to do next, and you feel like you're not getting any input. The message of this card is that spirit might be doing that intentionally so that you will step into your power and make a decision for yourself. And that's part of the spiritual lesson that you are currently learning. So it's like at that particular point in time when you are feeling the confusion on this card, Spirit is doing that intentionally so that you will continue to move forward in a way that feels right for you, even when you feel like Spirit may not be with you or may not be answering your questions directly. It's like step into your power, embrace your willpower, embrace your personal power in this situation, and continue to move forward. Even when you can't hear the voice of your spirit guides. So this card showing up here, there might be a connection with the magenta dragon in terms of following your soul wisdom, being spiritually connected, having a highly developed sense of intuition. We do have the third eye here, like getting signs and symbols from spirit, and using that as motivation to keep going with the athlete card, if that is resonating for you. And this could be, if this is something that is related to somebody who feels jealous of you, if they recognize that you have the magenta dragon kind of like archetype or energy, they might feel lost or confused because they're not as connected to spirit, or they don't have like a highly developed sense of intuition. They might be like a newer soul, and they might look at you and see how you are divinely guided, or just like willing and able to follow your intuition, and they're jealous of that because they don't know how to do that, or they feel like they're not, maybe they're not in touch with their own spirit guides or their own spirituality. They're like walking through a cloud of confusion, and here you are, and you seem to know what you're doing. Even if you feel confused, even if you feel like this is, not 100% accurate, or like there is kind of like, you're just bumbling along like the rest of us, and trying your best and just doing your best. This person perceives you as being very confident, and just there's like a fiery, passionate, like this person sees you as somebody who knows what they're doing through a combination of embracing your personal power, and your drive and sense of dedication to continue to move forward with a sense of purpose and a sense of following your inner guidance, and I don't think they have that, and they're jealous of that about you. So okay, I wanted to say that. And then we do have the perfection card, which is connected with the root chakra. It does talk about perfectionism, and it can come up when somebody is either struggling with this or has overcome a type of perfectionism. It could be that you know, this could really, again, it could relate to your energy or this person's energy or a combination of both. It could be that you have overcome perfectionism in yourself. You might and I'm this way too. I think a lot of people are, and I can definitely recognize this as something that I have been working on overcoming is, you know, I tend to be very like kind of black and white, yes or no, check mark, we got a check mark or we didn't. Like, you know, I'm working on things such as moderation, shades of gray, again, progress, not perfection. You know, it's like the athlete showing up every day and trying to beat their best time and still giving themselves grace for the fact that they showed up, even if the way they performed today wasn't as good as they performed yesterday, they still showed up today and did their best, you know, and it's like embracing that energy and knowing, okay, that's fine, I'm going to show up again tomorrow, you know, and I'll have another opportunity, another chance to continue to work towards progress. So if that is something that is resonating for you, then I would say that that's something that people might be jealous of because they're struggling with perfectionism in themselves, and they might be like a black or white thinker, you know, and it could be that people are jealous because they see how you're killing it, you know, by just you know being consistent and showing up, you know, and they're like, well, you know, I the way that they might be talking to themselves is, you know, well, I want what pile one has, and I don't have that, and it's you know, I feel like they might not recognize that all you're doing is continuing to show up. Like, that's the hardest part. That is 100% the hardest part of making progress towards any goal is continuing to show up. But they might not recognize that, and they might say like still be kind of like in a mindset of, and I used to be like this, where, you know, it was like if we're talking about an athlete and working on physical fitness, it was like if I didn't do a full hour on the elliptical, there was no point going to the gym, you know, or if I didn't do like a 10-kilometer jog, there was no point even putting my running shoes on and going outside. Like, I used to think like that, and it was coming from a place of perfectionism, but at the end of the day, I was standing in my own way, you know, because it was like I could still put my shoes on and go for a walk, you know, and that's still doing something. That's still, you know, showing up in some way. Again, like, that's progress. It's like it's was better for my body, was healthier for my body and my mind, my mental health, to do anything rather than nothing in terms of physical activity. Because I do physical activity for my mental health mostly, and it's like, well, you know, putting the shoes on and going out for like a 10-minute walk around the neighborhood is better than not putting the shoes on at all. Anyway, I don't know if that's resonating for you, but that's a message that's kind of coming through here. And it could be totally unrelated to physical fitness, even though we do have the athlete archetype here. They could just see you achieving something or working towards a goal in some way. Again, even if that's like a creative goal or something that you're working on, they see you working hard at it, and maybe you're slipping, or maybe like it's like slip and fall, or maybe like, you know, but you're picking yourself back up. It's like that, you know, what's the saying? Fall down 6 times, get up 7 times. You know, it's like they can see that determination. And I think that they are jealous of that, because that might not be something that they have embraced in themselves. And it could be with the root chakra here, it could be creating insecurity in this person. But I do also want to give the massive disclaimer that, you know, even though it's interesting to hear about what other people might be jealous about us, you do not have to take that on. Like, if somebody's projecting their insecurities onto you, or projecting their perfectionism or their egotistic side, or, you know, whatever it is that they're projecting onto you, or like misperceiving about you, or whatever it is, you do not have to take that on or internalize it or try to fix or help this person. You know, that's work that that they need to do on their own. So it's an important disclaimer there. Like, you do not need to take on this energy, but definitely, I think this is, you know, even if this is not somebody who maybe necessarily like burning with jealousy, this can also just be talking about, what do people admire about you? You know, so hopefully these messages have been resonating so far, and we're going to get into the tarot. Who is secretly jealous of Pile One Spirit? Ooh. Okay. So we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which absolutely would confirm for me. There might be somebody in your life or somebody who is aware of you who really admires your work ethic and your commitment. Your determination, the committed energy of the athlete. It's like dedication, because the Knight of Pentacles, when it's in reverse, is not a committed energy. It's not a dedicated energy. It's an energy of like, when things start to get serious, this person runs away. When things start to get difficult, this person runs away. But, it's like something that just came into my head is, and again, it is related to physical fitness, but I'm just using these examples because it's the athlete card, but it could be talking about anything you're working on. But the example that came into my mind was, again, like when I used to be struggling with perfectionism, I had a really hard time in terms of like embracing the like one day at a time energy of a Knight of Pentacles upright. So I, like a couple of years ago, tried to do one of the Yoga with Adriene 30-day yoga things, and I got maybe 5 days into it. And instead of like telling myself it's okay to take like a day off because my body is sore, and I can do day 6, the day after, and then just keep going from there. I was like, I missed that day, and I was like, okay, I've messed up. And I'm just, I clearly this isn't for me. I've messed up. I'm not, I'm not good at yoga. I'm never going to, I was really catastrophizing. And it was because they got hard on day 6. And I decided that, like instead of saying, okay, it's okay to, take that day and say like, okay, my body cannot handle this today. I'm going to instead go for a walk. I'm going to instead do some like light, some light aerobics, or do something else, just for that day. I was like, no, I'm just going to give up completely. That is the energy of a Knight of Pentacles in reverse. When it's time to be dedicated, when it's time to figure out a way past the block, when it's time to work on progress and not perfection, the Knight of Pentacles reversed does not show up. They might, in fact, actively run away from that. So, if this is coming up as this person's energy, then definitely that would be something they would be jealous of, because it's something that they recognize in you as somebody who shows up, is dedicated. You're working on something, some goal, some project, even if it's like just getting up and showing up for work every day. Like that's something that this person or people see that you have the dedication to do, even if it's something that you don't enjoy, just because that's a commitment that you've made, and that's something that they really admire and unfortunately are jealous of. Okay. So this is interesting. This is the Four of Inspiration in this deck is the Four of Wands, and it is reversed. And when this card comes out reversed, it can talk about like some event or milestone that might not have been as satisfying as we wanted it to be. It could also talk about like a reunion or going home to family, or something like that. But again, it's the energy of there's still something to celebrate, but it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to be. There's some level of disappointment or disillusionment when this card comes out reversed, and that's interesting. So this might be somebody that who is connected to you through family. It might be a family member. It might be somebody that from your hometown or from your childhood, who's like you might be like very familiar with each other. And this could be coming up because this person might recognize how you have put work into changing and evolving in a positive way, and like overcoming challenges, and working on progress and not perfection, working on confidence without being egotistical or narcissistic about it, working on your connection with your soul level wisdom and your divine gifts. This person can see that you are putting a lot of work in, and that you might have changed a lot just because you've been making progress towards your goals, and they realize you are not in the same place as you were when they knew you back then. And they might be jealous of that because they might not have progressed in the same way that you have, Or it could just be like sour grapes. Like this person, you know, they're just like, they might have wanted you to stay the way that you always were, because that they might have felt like, you know, if this person is a little bit narcissistic, they might have felt like, you know, they had some power over you or some control over you, you know, when you were not as evolved in the process, when you were not as far along in your journey, and they recognize how you have changed for the better, and that, and I think that they don't like that. You know, people who have that kind of narcissistic energy do not like when other people change. And it could just be this person is also just like not okay with things in their environment changing. And that could be something that's very frightening for them. And you know, that doesn't like excuse them if they take that out on you, but that could just be another reason why they're coming forward with like a more jealous kind of energy. This could also be saying they might have seen you recently at like a family event or a different type of event, maybe some sort of party. There might have been like a wedding or something, and this person might have seen you there and just been kind of like blown away by you. And again, you know, if they're in a competitive energy, they might have felt like very jealous of that, of the way that that you look, or the way that you carry yourself, your energy, or maybe all of the above, and the achievements that you have made, and any challenges you've overcome. They saw you and they're like, oh my god, pile one is killing it and I'm so jealous. That could be an interpretation for this card. And then the last thing that was coming through was this might be an ex. You know, this could be a romantic partner, an ex-romantic partner. That could have been a karmic connection, and they might have ran away with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. They might have run away from your connection, and with the Four of Wands reverse, this could be saying they are jealous because they can see you achieving milestones. They might see you that you are in a new relationship, or that other people are interested in you, or they just recognize you as being very attractive, and they might be like jealous of the competition because they can see you having like a happily ever after, or reaching some sort of relationship milestone with somebody else. And they might be jealous of that, even though they might have been the one who left, you know. So that could be another possible interpretation there. And it could also be saying the you know, if this is resonating for you as an ex and they left you to be with somebody else, it was not as satisfying. Like the person that they were with just doesn't hold a candle to you, and they might be comparing what would it have been like if I had stuck around with pile one and we had gone through these relationship milestones together, and they might be thinking about that a lot. So lots of interpretations coming up with the Four of Wands reversed. So all right, who is secretly jealous? Oh, okay. So we have the Hermit here, upright, and so this could be saying just a simple message. This person might be a Virgo, or you might be a Virgo, and this can also, I would see this as being very connected. I'm sorry, I'm having some throat chakra stuff come up right now, so that could be coming through as a message that that you might not have spoken to this person in a while, or you might never have spoken with this person. It might just be kind of like eyeballing you from afar, however that resonates for you. Or they might have things that they left unsaid. If this is an ex, they might like have a blockage in their throat when it comes to you. So I wanted to say that because that came up right as I started talking about this. So with the Hermit in reverse, I would see this as being very connected with, the Hermit upright. I would see this as being very connected with the magenta dragon energy. And if you are connected with spirit, with this third eye energy, crown energy, this person, I think, recognizes that you are somebody who has like an innate wisdom. That's something the Hermit has. The Hermit is also an archetype of somebody who does a lot of soul searching. It could be that you have, if this Four of Wands reversed is like you might have recently reunited with someone, or been in a situation where you might have gone back to your hometown, or you might have there might have been a family gathering of some kind, or like a high school reunion or something like that. the Hermit could be saying that, like, this person hasn't seen you in a while, and they might have just, like, assumed that you were, like, not doing anything if you were in separation for a while, you know, but you have been, like, fully leveling up since you knew this person, and, like, not that you weren't great and amazing and beautiful and perfect before, but you all have also been making progress towards your goals and like going through a spiritual ascension and maybe working on your self-esteem and your level of confidence, and that, like, shines through. It's like shining on this card. Like you've been really working on yourself. And that would be something that this person would be very jealous of. And again, the Hermit is a very wise person, and it's because they've taken the time to do soul searching. And we have this, the wisdom, the soul level wisdom. This person recognizes you have a connection to wisdom that you have gained over the course of many lifetimes, and they see you as somebody who is very wise, and possibly also very patient, possibly also a little bit, I don't know if like introverted is the, it's just like a calm and steady energy, because we also have like the extroverted energy of the full moon in Leo, and then we also have, you know, Hermit is a more introverted energy. So it could be that both of those resonate for you. You could be a very outgoing person, and also still be introverted in the sense that you recharge your energy by being alone, or it could be the reverse. You could be somebody who does a lot of kind of like independent, you could be a very independent person who does a lot of like independent soul searching and a lot of shadow work on your own, and at the same time you gain your energy by being with other people. So there could be like a mixture there, if that is resonating for you. And again, I also want to reiterate that this is based on this person's perception of you, and it might have been like a very brief interaction or situation where they might not have like had the opportunity to have a conversation with you. They might just have been observing you, and I think that they are jealous of how wise you are and how intuitive you are and how connected you are with spirit, and possibly that, you know, that you do take the time to do shadow work and stuff like that and work on your spirituality. And the Hermit is also the story of the Hermit card is a person climbing a mountain with a lantern, and they're climbing the mountain on their own in the dark, and then when they get to the top of the mountain, they light a lantern so that the people climbing the mountain after them can see the way. And so there's an energy of also sharing that spirituality and sharing that wisdom with other people. And again, that goes with the outgoing energy of the full moon in Leo, and don't let pride get in your way. You might have a lot to feel proud of, and you're not in the sense of things that you have accomplished or progress that you've made, and you're not getting a big head about it, to put it that way. Like, you're like still humble, and you're still very happy to help other people to achieve the same things that you have and work towards the same goals that you are working towards, and like share your energy with the people who are worthy of sharing your energy with. You know, you could also have very healthy boundaries and also be sharing your energy. So that's something that I'm seeing with the Hermit card there. And then we have the Six of Emotions, or the Six of Cups in reverse. And so this would definitely be like the throat chakra energy I was feeling when I pulled the Hermit card. This might be what has remained unsaid on this person's part. If this could be related to if this is an ex that we're talking about, this could be related to this person might still be very hung up on your connection. If you were resonating with what I was saying about the Four of Wands, about, you know, this person might be ruminating on, even if they were the one who left, because they just don't have a committed energy, they might still think about you all the time. They might, and with the Six of Cups, can talk about like a soulmate, or a soul, like a soul level destined connection, even if it didn't work out. This might be so like an energy of somebody that you knew over the course of many lifetimes. You met, you had your relationship or your situationship, whatever it was. It didn't work out, possibly because this person ran away, and you have done the work You've been working on yourself, working on your shadow work, working towards your goals, working in alignment with spirit, working on overcoming perfectionism, if that is resonating for you. Like, however that is resonating for you, you've been working on it, you've been doing the work. This person hasn't. And I think that they're really hung up on, if you have happy memories together, they're really hung up on that. And I think they might be like really jealous because they can see how you are working on yourself and working towards thriving, even if you don't feel like you're thriving. At this current point in time, like, this person, I think, still recognizes the amount of progress you've made. And they're kind of sitting here like forlorn, thinking about the past. If that's resonating for you as it's kind of like an X energy. The other way that we can interpret this, if this is more of like a platonic connection or maybe like a family member who might be jealous of you in some way, this can also kind of reiterate the message here. You might have known this person for a long time. They might be related to your family or your childhood. They might be related to your hometown. And this person might be trying to hold on to the way that you used to be. They might be trying to, they might be jealous of the fact that they can't fit you into the box you used to fit in their mind. I think that they might be jealous because of the way that you have changed. And for the positive, for the better, for the positive, they can see you changing and evolving and working on yourself and being very dedicated and showing up every day and being very connected with spirit, and following your intuition and having a certain level of confidence that comes from knowing that you do not need to be perfect in a black and white sense, because you're showing up every day to work on your goals and the things you're trying to achieve. And they, I think, are like, well, why isn't pile one the way that they used to be? It's like this, the energy of a Six of Cups reverse is like holding on to a memory to the point where it is like not healthy. It could be somebody who's very hung up on the way things used to be. It could be somebody who just can't stop thinking about memories of you. It's like that's the energy that's coming out here, and it's like this is somebody who's hung up on the past. And so, if all this energy is about how you're growing and changing and embracing yourself and embracing your power and your passion and your connection to spirit, they don't like that you have changed. And they might be jealous of the changes that you've made because they want that for themselves. Or this, again, could just be like a sour grapes thing, like a crabs in the bucket. Like they don't want you to progress because it makes them feel bad about themselves. If that makes sense. And again, you do not need to take that on for this person. Like you're perfectly okay to just continue focusing on yourself, because this is work that they need to do. It's not, it is about you, but it's also not about you. It's about them and things that they know that they need to do, and they might be just like projecting that on you. So I wanted to say that about the Six of Cups reversed. And again, this might have been, if you are resonating as an ex, this could have been somebody that you felt like you had a soul deep connection with. It might have been very painful, if we're talking about if it was a situation where they might have run away, even if they didn't, if whatever happened between the two of you, it might have been a very painful situation because it could have been a soul level connection where your souls were meant to react to each other, and then you each individually had the choice of how you were going to move forward, and it's like you chose to evolve and grow from the lessons that you learned from that connection, and this person didn't, and I think they might be jealous of the fact that you were making progress and they aren't. So I wanted to reiterate that. Okay, and then interesting. Okay, I'm going to try and remember the way this is. In this deck, we have the kings of the different suits. Okay, it was upright. The kings of the different suits are sideways. And it came out a certain way, and then I was like, okay, it's upright, and then I turned it over, and it was sideways. So I did figure out it is supposed to be upright. So should we do back of the deck? No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Actually, you know what? Sorry, pile one. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here, because I did look at the back of the deck, and I was thinking about whether I wanted to include that in the reading, and then I saw what it was, and I'm thinking it just provides a little bit of additional context. So we have the Muse of Inspiration, which is the King of Wands in this deck. It is upright. And then we have on the back of the deck the Ace of Materials, which is the Ace of Pentacles. So the King of Wands here, this is with the full moon in Leo here. I think that this is absolutely how this person sees you. They're jealous of your passion. They're jealous of your confidence. They're jealous of your sense of humor, how easily you get along with people, your outgoing nature, how passionate you are about your goals. If you have a creative hobby or a creative interest or a creative career, they're jealous of that. How you seem to have divine gifts. They might be jealous of the fact that it seems like you know how to handle any social situations. You might have a very big friends group, or even like a smaller group of very close friends. You might, and again, this might not fully be resonating with you, but this is just how this person sees you. They see you as somebody who is very divinely guided, very passionate, and like a very social, outgoing, charismatic, very funny, very fun-loving. Because it could have been like however you knew this person, wherever they saw you most recently, might have been while you were having the time of your life doing something very fun with your friends. And that's how they have interpreted your energy, even if you are more of like an introvert. So I wanted to say that, like, the person sees you as a King of Wands, and they are very jealous of that energy. And the King of Wands, because it's the king, is also like, it is that kind of like fun, fiery, passionate energy. It's also an emotionally mature energy, because it's the king. It's just a more mature energy, and it's a level of maturity that you have achieved through this dedicated energy on the athlete card, and through your connection to spirit, through overcoming perfectionism, if that is something that is resonating for you, or maybe you've always been this way, where you just like have innately understood that perfection doesn't exist because it's subjective. Right? Like there's no real like standard, you know. It's like the energy of the light attribute of the athlete, of like the most meaningful way we can progress is by comparing ourselves to ourselves, right? That's how we can measure how we're doing. You know, that's a meaningful way to measure how we're doing. That might be more meaningful than comparing ourselves to other people, which might just make us feel bad about ourselves. You know, but this person is comparing themselves to you, you know, and that's making them feel bad about themselves. And it's like kind of a little bit ironic, because it's like that's something that they see that you are not like that. So, and with this confusion card, it's like they might, if this is related to an ex or somebody, maybe even somebody from your childhood who did not put work into growing and evolving and changing themselves in some way, they might be jealous of your progress. This could be saying like they might be confused and feeling like they don't have a direction, or they may be feeling like directionless or a little bit lost in their life, and they see you working towards something and having a sense of purpose and direction. Whatever that means for you, and they might also be jealous of that. So that's what I wanted to say about the King of Wands there. That's a great energy. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles on the back of the deck. This could also be saying, again, it's a kind of a different energy in terms of whether we're talking about an ex or not. But if you're resonating with this idea of this being an ex, they might see you with the Ace of Pentacles. They might see you, again, like catching the interest of other people, or starting a new relationship, starting a new like level of commitment with somebody. You know, it's the Ace, it's like something new, and it's materials is Pentacles, and it's about like commitment, dedication, very dedicated energy here. And it's like they could see you also, this could be related, if this isn't an ex, or even if it is, this could also be related to a work project, starting a new job, making a new commitment in some way. It could be like, if with the Four of Wands here, it could be like buying a house, or maybe moving back to your hometown, or you know, just hitting some sort of milestone, achieving some sort of milestone. that is new to you. It's like there's a new cycle starting for you. That something is related to your level of commitment and dedication. And if none of that is resonating for you and you're like, there's not really anything new happening with me, this person might just be afraid that you are going to commit to something that is going to take you either up another level in your ascension or your evolution or your progress. They might see you heading towards a Four of Wands moment that you might not realize that you are, or they might be like worried that you're going to make some sort of commitment or dedication that is going to take your energy away from them, especially if you are resonating with the idea of them maybe having some narcissistic tendencies. They want you to stay where you were. They wanted you to stay the way that they knew you, and they don't like the way that you're making progress and making changes in your life. And it's an ace. It's about change. It's a new cycle, something new coming in, and that's something that they're jealous of. I think they're jealous of your level of commitment. They're jealous of your ability to create new opportunities for yourself and to embrace the opportunities that have been coming into your life. You have a lot to be proud of. Based on this spread, you have a lot to be proud of. And this person is just like fully jealous of that. And it could, again, I'm just getting the sense that you have grown and changed and worked and shown up and been very dedicated and been very growing your spirituality and your connection to spirit and being divinely guided and very inspired with the inspiration here, and this person hasn't, and that is why they're jealous. That's just what's coming through here. This person is not as dedicated as you. They do not have that same connection to spirit, and it's coming from them. The blockage there is coming from them. They are not as confident as you are, and again, that's coming from them. They might have a very black and white sense of perfectionism that might be standing in their way and blocking them from making forward progress. They might not have achieved the milestones in their life that they see that you have achieved, and they might be holding on to an idea of you that might be inaccurate or might be based on the version of yourself that you used to be before you have put this effort into growing and changing and evolving. And it's like they see you growing away from them or growing away from the person that they used to know, or doing the things that they wish that they could do for themselves. And of course they could if they wanted to, if they really wanted to, but but they're creating their own blockages here in some way. And anyway, that is what is coming through as the reasons why this person, or it could be multiple people in your life, might be jealous of you right now, pile one. And with that said, I am going to end the reading here because, again, this is going to be another long video. So I wanted to say that I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please feel free to give the video a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how it resonated for you. And if you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 1, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we are going to be taking a look at who is secretly jealous of you. This might be one person, it might be multiple people, it might be someone from your past, it might be an ex, it might be a family member. I don't know, we'll see what comes out in the cards. And it could be that there's nobody in your immediate vicinity or not maybe a specific person coming through, and this could just be Spirit's way of giving you some kudos about things that you should be proud of. It could be if somebody was in a lower vibrational energy and they were experiencing feelings of jealousy towards you, these are things that they might become jealous of, if that makes sense, if that's resonating for you. Otherwise, we will just see what comes out in the cards, and we'll take it as it goes. So I have already pulled the Oracle cards for you, so let's see what we have here. So the first card we have is Have Faith in Your Dreams with the Waxing Crescent Moon. And I mean, that's a pretty clear message there of what would somebody be jealous of about you is that you have faith in your dreams. But this would tell me that at the very least, this person or people perceive you as somebody who follows your dreams. You follow your heart. You might follow your intuition. This is a card that I would associate with the kind of third eye crown energy there with the colors on the card. It is likely that people perceive you as somebody who might have gone through a spiritual journey, might currently be going through a spiritual journey, and is probably a highly spiritual person. And I think that what people really admire about you, and it could turn to jealousy, is that you have faith that things are going to work out for you. This could also speak to me that people know that you do manifestation work. They might not know that that you would call it that, or like what specific methods you use, etc. But they might see the way that you are able to manifest things into your life by simply having faith that that the things are meant for you are coming towards you, and in the sense that you've already achieved your dreams, like in the sense of manifestation, in terms of I'm grateful for the fact that I already have the things that I want. It's like that kind of energy, and I think that this is also kind of giving me kind of like a dreamy kind of energy here. It's like kind of like a softer, more feminine energy on this card, maybe just because of the flowers and the fact that we have this butterfly here, but and the soft lighting there too, I think, is giving me more of like a divine feminine energy here. It could be that you are very in touch with your divine feminine, if that is resonating for you. I think that is something that people can see about you. And then there is a butterfly on the card. Butterflies are typically a symbol of transformation, so that could be saying that you might not always have believed in yourself, or again, you might just have been on like a spiritual journey, and I think that people can see that. And again, this is like a very kind of calm, patient, zen energy that I'm picking up from this card, of somebody who just knows that their dreams are going to come true, and it's like I'm happy and grateful because I already know that I have everything. Like the universe is, all of my blessings are coming towards me. Like I already know that. So I think that is something that people can see about you, and that would be something that people might be jealous of, is the faith that you have that your dreams are going to come true. And this could also be, if this is resonating for you, this could also be saying you might receive messages from spirit through your dreams. If that resonates for you, if that is something, if you have like prophetic dreams, or maybe so maybe you're like doing some shadow work about something specific in your life, and it's like that, and then you start dreaming about it, and it's like your dreams are opportunities to either get a different perspective on something, or make some sort of connection in that you can make in your dream that you might not have been able to make when you were conscious, etc. So that might be something that is resonating for you, and it might be that other people in your life might not be able to like literally know that about you, but I think they can sense that you are connected to spirit, possibly through your crown chakra, if that's resonating for you. So I wanted to say that. I'm also kind of picking up maybe some like Pisces vibes from this card. So again, only take that if it resonates for you. And I want to give the disclaimer, I forgot to give it at the beginning. I want to give the disclaimer that everything that we're going to be seeing in this reading, when I'm describing how other people see you, or how this might even just be coming from one person, like how this one person sees you, it is based on their perception of you, and it might not be 100% accurate to how you feel about yourself, because it's just based on their perception. And this could be somebody who either doesn't know you very well, they might never have like interacted with you in real life. This could be somebody who's kind of like watching you on social media, or just like it might be like an acquaintance, or somebody who's like aware of you in some other way, who might not be that close to you, might not have a very accurate understanding of who you are. So I'm just saying, like, if some of it resonates, but it's not 100%, that might be why. And if you find that none of it is resonating for you, then then I would check out a different pile. But I just wanted to give that disclaimer because I forgot about it. So that's what I'm seeing. Oh, and about the Pisces. So that could be like your sun, moon, or rising, or they could just be picking up like more. Again, it's more like that kind of like Empress energy of divine creativity that I'm picking up from this card. So I wanted to say that. And then we have the Sunshine Yellow Dragon, which says, helps you to help animals, serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. And this is an adorable card. I've never used this deck before. I'm excited about it. I think that with this card here, it's telling me you are probably an animal lover. You might be very into nature, natural healing, you might be into things like herbalism and things like that, just because I'm seeing there might be like a kind of like a druidic kind of energy there, if that's resonating for you. Otherwise, I could see this being interpreted in a couple of different ways. We have like a deer and a squirrel and a chipmunk and a blue jay and a hawk there. So this could be that you like literally have a connection with animals. You might work with animals in your day-to-day life. You might have a lot of pets, or you might like volunteer at an animal shelter or foster animals, or there might just be some connection where people know that you work with animals or you love animals in some way. And that speaks to me of somebody who has like a big heart, and it says helps you help animals. So that's again giving me the sense of, you know, maybe you volunteer with animals, or like have some sort of like veterinarian connection or fostering animals, or maybe that's just something that you are passionate about. Maybe you are an advocate for animal rights, whatever that means for you. That could be one way to interpret this card. Another way to interpret this could be that you have a lot of spirit guides that are showing up in the form of animals. You might spend a lot of time in nature and find that you like connect really easily with like woodland creatures, and that could be, it could also be like a wildlife conservation thing, but it could also be just like another recognition of your connection to your spirituality. And there's flowers in nature on this card too. So it could be saying that you spend a lot of time in nature, you love nature, you might love hiking or camping, or something like that. And I think that is something that people can see about you. And then the fact that this is a sunshine yellow dragon, the color sunshine yellow. First of all, it's a kind of like a cheerful, happy color because it's sunshine yellow. And then it's also speaking to me about like the solar plexus chakra, which is about like will, determination, and self-esteem. So this person or people might be seeing that you have like you either like the will and determination as it relates to you know, the animals in your life, however that applies to you, and or this could also be saying these people realize that you have a very open, well-developed solar plexus chakra. You might have like a healthy sense of self-esteem, and just like your self-esteem is not easily shaken, it's kind of like a confident energy, and you have the will and determination to go after your dreams, but to have faith in your dreams. There might be a connection there as well. And I could definitely see that as being something that people might be jealous of. They might be jealous that, you know, you have a connection to animals in nature, however that's resonating for you, and you're not afraid to go after your dreams, and there's a spiritual connection here as well. And it could be that like something that's really important to you is recognizing the interconnectedness of all creatures. And you might be like a vegetarian or a vegan for moral reasons. You might not, like, only take that if it resonates for you. This is very kind of like a naturey, naturalist kind of vibe. You might be a little bit of a hippie, you know, and that's great. If that's the case, then that would again be something that people can see about you, and they might be jealous of that, maybe because they don't have the confidence to you know, maybe they also want to embrace that sides of themselves, and they don't have the confidence to go after that. So that's what I'm seeing with this sunshine yellow dragon. Okay, so this is interesting. We have the shadow attributes of the storyteller card. Now, these oracle cards that I have pulled, I'm taking them kind of both ways, like in the sense that these could be talking about your energy, and or they could also be talking about, you know, who is jealous, like who is this person that we're talking about who might be jealous of you. So I'm just kind of like going card by card and taking it however it resonates. So with the shadow attributes here, it says making up tales that harm others. And so this could either be something that somebody who is jealous of you might do, out of jealousy, out of pettiness. They might make up stories about you. People might gossip about you in a mean way. That might be something you've had to deal with. People might not understand you or your motivations, and they might tell themselves stories about you that are not true, they might tell other people things about you that are not true, if that's something that you have dealt with. And or this could be saying that people in your life, again, they might not like understand who you are, and they might be projecting things onto you that are not accurate to who you are, which is, I mean, that's a dick move. You know, I was gonna say something else, but that's the polite way to kind of say it. Is like that's a really jerky thing to do. It's like to just assume something about somebody, and then try and spread that around to other people, instead of taking the time to kind of like get to know who you are. That might be something that resonates for you, but either way, somebody's telling stories here that are they're not true, and they are in fact harmful. And it could be somebody in your life. There could be a connection there with somebody in your life who might assume that you are lying about things, even when you haven't really given them any like legitimate reason to believe that you're not being truthful. They might just be like, oh, this is too good to be true, or this is, you know, this is maybe reminding them of somebody else in their life who might have said similar things and not meant them. So it could be that somebody in your life is either making up lies about you, gossiping about you in a mean way, or has done that in the past, or assumes that you are making up lies about yourself or other people, even when that's not true. So that's kind of an interesting energy to come up in this reading. This could be like a warning from Spirit that you might have people in your life who are kind of embodying that like Seven of Swords archetype. If that's resonating for you, it might just be an idea to do whatever you need to do in order to kind of like protect your energy. But also, you do not need to give people who don't understand you or are telling stories about you or whatever, you do not need to give these people the time of day. They're not worth your time or energy. So that's another thing that's coming up there. That's kind of an interesting energy here. Okay, and the next card we have is Expansion. And this is connected with the throat chakra, and this actually is kind of tying things together for me, because this card talks about, first of all, it talks about having faith in your dreams, not being afraid to ask for help in achieving whatever your dreams are. It can talk about the power of verbal manifestation, speaking your dreams into being, and having faith in your dreams, like literally having faith in your dreams, despite the fact that other people might not understand your dreams, they might not support you. You might have people or friends in your life who don't have good intentions or don't want what's best for you, or might actively be working either behind the scenes or explicitly to stand in the way of whatever your dreams are, because they don't believe that you are going to be able to expand in whatever way is true for you. And the message here is like, you're going to do it anyway. You know, it's like that's the determined energy here connected with the throat chakra, is you are still going to speak your authentic truth. You are still going to do things that are in alignment with achieving whatever your dreams are. And it could be that if people are throwing up obstacles for you and trying to stand in your way, it could be that it's coming from a place of jealousy, because you might be doing things and expanding in ways that they subconsciously wish that they had the courage to do, and they don't. And so it's again, it's like that kind of like crabs in a bucket energy of, you know, I want to drag you down to my level so that I don't have to work on my own expansion, so that I don't have to work on my own shadow side, so that I don't have to examine my own behaviors and beliefs. I want to keep you here so that I don't have to do shadow work. And it's like, I can see that with the expansion card here that you're just like either have gone through this process already and decided not to have those energies in your life, or you might just currently be coming up to the realization that there might be certain connections that you might need to let go of in pursuit of whatever, you know, whatever your dreams are, whatever spiritual expansion you are going through, because you have been or will be prioritizing whatever your dreams are, whatever your needs are, whatever your desires are, because they're important to you, and you deserve to be successful in doing things that are in alignment with your divine purpose and path, despite what other people think or say about that. Like, their opinions, they don't matter. What matters is if you are doing things that are in alignment with your authentic truth. And I think people might either not genuinely not really understand that, Or, again, they might just be jealous of the fact that you're having the courage to go after your dreams, and they don't. So that's something that's coming out with that card. Okay, a similar idea and message here with the release card, which is connected with the crown chakra, which, you know, I was seeing there's lots of like upper chakra energy here. And one of the messages of this card is there might be people or situations in your life that you need to release, or you have needed to release in order to move forward. And you're being like divinely guided and divinely led towards letting go of the things that you need to let go of in order to achieve whatever your dreams are here, in order to go through this spiritual expansion here. There are things that you need to release. It could be that you have like already been going through the process of that. You might have released a connection with somebody and they might be trying to like get back at you by spreading lies about you, or like trying to spin the narrative here about what happened in your connection, if that's resonating for you. And again, like, I'm not sure where you are in this process. This might be something you've already done. It might be something you're currently working on. It might be something you've just recently become aware of that your spirit guides are trying to guide you towards doing, is releasing and letting go of connections that are no longer serving you, and with people who might be actively trying to hold you back because they're jealous of the fact that you are going after the things that are meaningful for you. And there is a message with this card. It's okay to like mourn the things that you need to mourn. Like take the time to go through the mourning process here in the process of release, so that you can move forward without attachments to, like you can just fully let go and move forward without remaining attached to people who are in a negative energy, or who might be trying to work against you in some way, if that makes sense. There's a message about like letting go of attachments there, and if you need to take time to like feel your feelings about it, that's okay, you know. So that's a message from spirit there for you with the release card there. And it's like an energy of maybe somebody trying to hold on to you when you're like, I'm trying to grow and evolve and go after what I want in life and be more in alignment with my authentic self, and this person is just like, no, stay here with me, stay here in this lower vibration with me, and it might be something you're just like, no, like that's not right for me. And again, I'm not sure where you are in this spiritual journey, but that's what I'm seeing in the oracle cards here for you. And there is also a message with I was seeing these animals as potentially as spirit guides for you. We have this crown chakra energy. There's like some third eye colors here, and then this these figures on this expansion card I would interpret as your spirit guides. So there's a lot of message that you are being divinely guided and divinely led, if that is helpful for somebody to hear. And with that said, I am going to move into the tarot. Spirit, who is... Oh, okay, right off the bat. Okay, we have the Justice card in reverse. And this card can talk about, when it comes out in reverse, it can talk about a situation in which we did not receive justice. Things did not work out in a way that was fair. And that might resonate for you if you've been working on releasing certain connections. Somebody, and if there's something here in this Shadow Storyteller card that is resonating as something you have had to deal with, people making up lies, telling stories about you, just in like an effort to prevent you from moving forward in some way, or to, if there's somebody's basically been using their voice for ill, it could be that person has not received their comeuppance, and you might have really tried to deal with the situation and then finally gotten to a point where you're like, I just have to walk away. Like, this person like didn't learn a lesson, they didn't get their karma, I just had to walk away from it. That could be a reason why the Justice in Reverse card is here. And it's like a message that like something happened here that was not fair. This could also be a message that, like, if you're resonating with that and the idea that something has happened for you, that you might needed to have released a connection where you were not treated fairly, and nobody, like, you know, the only outcome was that you were sad about it and then you had to like let go of it. And that, again, that person, they didn't learn, they didn't change, you know, they're just going about their life. That could be a message of this card. Another message might be from this person's perspective. It could be that people might assume that you have been unfairly blessed or unfairly lucky, or like there might have been an imbalance here, that like people just don't see the truth. Maybe they might not be able to see the truth, which is that you've worked hard for what you have and that you deserve to move forward, to go through an expansion, to achieve whatever dreams you're working towards. Other people might assume or have the impression that something happened unfairly here. And they might be like jealous of that, but it could also just be like a projection. They might think that you had something handed to you. They might believe, it could be this, if somebody's making up lies about you or telling like a narrative about what happened here that is untrue, they could be like spinning things so that other people in your life believe that you were the one who did something wrong in this situation. Because I'm getting the impression of like somebody trying to control the narrative here and maybe turning people against you. And it's like, again, if you've had to cut ties or walk away from certain people or certain relationships, certain situations that were not healthy, because somebody was working behind the scenes to turn people against you, that would make a lot of sense to me why the Justice in Reverse card is here. It could be like from other people's perspectives, you were the one who was behaving badly, and so it's not fair that you've, you know, been going through this spiritual expansion and like up leveling in some way, and you might be like very happy where you are, you know, I don't really know. It could also be that like it was not fair that things happened the way that they did because you had somebody working against you, or maybe multiple people working against you. You know, it could be like a situation where you're dealing with a really toxic person. It could be a situation where you're dealing with a narcissist. It could be a situation where, you know, and they might have like enablers or people around them who are willing to believe the things that they say, and not believe you. You know, even despite the fact that you are telling the truth. You're the person telling the truth in this situation. And so this card is just saying it's not fair. Whatever happened here was not fair. I think Spirit is recognizing that. And that it's okay if you need to, like, it's okay if you have complicated feelings about this, and it's okay if you need to release things in people that are willing to believe lies about you, despite the fact that you're telling the truth, even though it sucks. It's like really hard to go through something like that. It can be very painful. And it could be that you're not even necessarily aware that other people are having these thoughts and feelings about you, because there might be somebody in your life who's trying to spread lies about you. And this could even be like, you know, an ex who might be, you know, you might have gone through a breakup and you might be like working on yourself and working on connecting with yourself. You might be using it, like, using is probably the wrong word, in the same way that you like to help and support animals and have a love for animals in nature. You might also be, I guess using is not a terrible word, using the animals in nature in your life as a way to heal yourself from whatever, you know, you've been going through. If you're resonating with this idea of it being an ex, you might have used that to help you after the breakup or the connection ended or whatever happened, and working on releasing that connection. And this person, if they are an ex, might be telling lies about you, and you might not be aware of it. So this could even just be like Spirit coming through and saying like, this person, and this Justice in Reverse can also talk about bad karma. They're generating bad karma for themselves by acting out of their shadow self. So, all right, Spirit, okay, another card right off the bat. Okay, so the kings in this deck are sideways. So, I think we have enough room here. Okay, so this is the Muse of Voices, which is the King of Swords. which would vibe for me if you resonate with the energy of the expansion card about using your voice, using your throat chakra. The King of Swords is a very clear communicator, and somebody who would advocate for their own needs, and who might cut people out of their life who are not good for them, not in alignment with their divine purpose. You know, because swords, you know, it's not for the greater good to remain in a situation where people are hurting you or actively working against you or trying to hold you back, trying to be an obstacle to you achieving your dreams. And it could be that if you are embodying the energy of a King of Swords in the eyes of whoever this person or people are, they see you as somebody who might be emotionally detached or cold. But that might have been something that you needed to do, and you might have like a lot of really hard, complicated feelings about this. That's a message of the release card, of like needing to mourn something as you're releasing it. You might have really felt your feelings about needing to let go of certain situations or people, or you might currently be in that energy, and you're still doing it anyway, because that is what is in alignment with your highest good, your truest self, and achieving your dreams. And it's the King of Swords is somebody who stands up for themselves and advocates for themselves with authority and with a sense of purpose. And it could be that whoever these people are interpreting that as maybe being emotionally detached or cold, when in reality you're doing what is best for you, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it could be that you might have had to learn a tough lesson about protecting your feelings and emotions. Especially if you're dealing with somebody who likes to spin the narrative. This could be somebody who's just like, you know, is gaslighting, and it could just be like you had to put your more divine feminine side in a box and lock it up for the time being while you're dealing with this person, and be very direct and clear in your communication style and really express yourself, because that's what you needed to do for you in that situation. And again, they might view that as you being like emotionally distant or cold, and that might be part of the whatever lie they're telling, even if they're only lying to themselves, if that makes sense. And I want to say, when I'm talking about energies that are like divine feminine, divine masculine, I'm not talking about gender. You could be any gender. I'm just saying like your energy here for this person is being represented here by the King of Swords. And the fact that it's the King is telling me this person sees you as like you being very direct and straightforward, and in a very like, how do I express this? Basically putting your foot down. Like, you know, it's like the authority, it's the like the boss energy, it's and doing what needs to be done, and when it comes to communication and when it comes to making the most logical, rational choice. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. And I wanted to say also that the Justice card is associated with Libra, and then we have the King of Swords, which is associated with air. So you could be an air sign or Libra, if that resonates for you. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And the King of Swords is also a very responsible energy. It's like a getting things done kind of energy. And it could be that this person sees you being in that boss kind of energy of like getting things done, you know, being responsible, even if, you know, on the inside you have this very like divine feminine, having faith, empress kind of energy, you know, and you have like a soft heart, especially when it comes to animals in your life, if that is resonating for you, and you do have feelings. This person can see you taking active steps towards your dreams and towards your authentic truth, and I think that, again, it's like they're jealous of your courage and your ability to do that. And that might be one of the reasons why they're trying to spin the narrative here, because they might wish that they had the confidence to do that, and they don't. So, all right, who is secretly jealous about you? Okay. Okay. All right, the next three cards all came out together. Okay. So, all right, we have I honestly don't know if I can fit all these cards here. We have the High Priestess in reverse, which would make sense to me. If we're talking about somebody who recognizes that you are spiritually connected with the energy of that have faith in your dreams, this kind of like upper chakra, crown, third eye energy here, and then speaking your divine truth and things that are in alignment and speaking up for yourself in some way because you are being divinely guided to do so, and to make choices in your life that might result in cutting other people out because that is what is the most in alignment with your divine path. This person can see that you are very spiritually connected. You might cultivate a spiritual practice. You are watching a tarot reading video. So I'd say that's probably pretty likely. With all this, like, you might have a lot of animal spirit guides and be connected with nature. That might be part of your spirituality. And so this person can see that you are being divinely guided and that you are highly spiritual. And that's something that is not true for them. It's not the sense that they don't have spirit guides or that they couldn't follow divine guidance if they chose to do that. It's that they're ignoring their intuition. They're ignoring. They might have they might have like a conscience or a voice at the back of their head saying, like, don't do this, it's wrong. Don't do this, it's not fair to pile two. It's like the wrong thing to do here. And they're ignoring that. Or it could be that, they have dreams that they wish they could go after. They have, they wish they could tell people off for treating them badly. They wish they wish they had the confidence to do that. Even if you feel like you had to go through a really long journey or a lot of shadow work, or put a lot of work towards reaching that level of confidence where you felt like you were able to do that, they might not have necessarily like seen the lead up to that, or been aware of how much work you put in to get to that place, and they might again, it's the energy of like this person is jealous because they see you following your divine path. They see you following your divine guidance, and they're not doing that. They're ignoring their own intuition, and there might even be on an unconscious level. They might want to quit their job and become, a musician. They might want to, move to Alaska. They might have like some dream that they are not acknowledging, or that they're like, well, they've kind of written it off as being too difficult to achieve. They see you going after your dreams, and they're jealous of that. It's like their spirit guides, their inner guidance might be telling you, well, you can quit your job and become a musician. You could take that chance. You could do it if you had more faith. And they're ignoring those inner voices and those gut feelings and those intuitions. And I think that is making them feel bad about themselves. And they're using that bad feeling as an excuse to lash out at you for the fact that you are evolving. And they're not. And they're, that again, this reverse storyteller, they might be either telling lies about you, spreading stories about you, spinning the narrative in some way, or they might not believe that you're going to go through with your plans here for your dreams or whatever they are. You might be like telling them straight to their face, like, I know that I'm going to be successful, or I am already successful in what I am doing. It is already working. I am already going after my dreams, and I'm having success at it, and they don't want to believe it, so they might be telling themselves lies about it, if that's resonating for you. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is interesting. And that could be confirmation if you're resonating with what I was saying. It could be that you're like not aware of this person, so you don't really know what their thoughts, feelings, or intentions are. But this, that could be, if you're kind of resonating with what I was saying about, this person might not be following their own dreams. And they're jealous of the fact that you are. There might be something that they want to do, that they feel inspired to do, that they feel passionate about, the way that you feel passionate with the Sunshine Yellow Dragon, about animals or nature or spirituality, however this applies to you. They want to have that level of passion to start with the ace, start something new that they feel passionate about, and they don't have the courage to do it, or they're telling themselves that it wouldn't work out. Even though their intuition, their gut feelings is telling them to go for it, and they might, instead of feeling inspired by you, despite the fact that what you're doing is very inspiring, they're kind of turning it around and like using it as an excuse to feel bad about themselves, instead of saying, I'm inspired by pile 2 and I want to follow my own path towards my dreams, start something new, start the thing I'm passionate about. Instead, I'm going to kind of shut down and start telling lies. So not a healthy energy there. This could also be here as a way of saying that this person, again, they might not believe that you are going to be successful or that you already are successful, because the Ace of Wands reverse can talk about when we start something and we feel excited about it and then it just kind of peters out, or it doesn't come to fruition, or like our excitement and passion doesn't last. That could be a message of the Ace of Wands reverse. They could be thinking that this is just a phase. It's just something that, that you're going to get tired of or get bored of, and it's not going to last. And again, that's something that they are probably lying to themselves about, or just telling themselves, because it's more comforting to believe that than to think that you are doing something that they wish they had the courage to do, and it makes them feel bad about themselves. So instead, they might be telling themselves, and they might be telling you that that your dreams are not going to work out. You're never going to make it. You're going to get bored. You're going to get, nobody's going to buy into this idea. You're not going to have the support you need, etc., etc. They might actively be telling you to your face that you're going to fail. But the messages here are that that's not true. That's just a defense mechanism that this person has come up with. So definitely a lot of messages from Spirit here that if you have been feeling shaken by the words that this person is saying, don't be. You are so divinely guided and supported. There's nothing to worry about in achieving your dreams, and probably, in fact, a part of the lesson here for you and the growth here for you is that it is okay to release connections with people who do not have our best interests at heart, even if we love that person. And it's okay to mourn that connection and to feel sad and bad about needing to do that, and to still take whatever steps are necessary to protect yourself and protect your own energy. It is okay to do that. So if somebody needed to hear that reassurance, that is also something that is coming through. And then we have the Star in reverse. And I do want to say the Star is also associated with Aquarius. So that's another air sign, if that is resonating for you. And I mean, all this air energy here, even if you don't have any air in your chart, could just be related to if you've been going through an expansion in your throat chakra, because, air is associated with communication, associated with the throat chakra, etc. So I wanted to mention that the Star, when it's in reverse, doesn't usually, like, the Star usually is positive whether it's reversed or not, because it talks about being divinely guided and having faith. Like, it's like there's a big connection here, that the Priestess, the Star, about having faith in your dreams and knowing that you are being divinely guided. And it could be, like, this would just reiterate for me that this person recognizes that you have faith in your dreams, that you are looking for divine guidance. And with the expansion card, I think I did mention, one of the messages here is asking for help and wisdom from people who can help you. It could be like people literally in the 3D. You might be taking a class, or you might have a mentor, or you might have you might have people on YouTube that you watch for guidance and just for like how-to videos, etc., etc. Whatever that means for you. You're like seeking guidance and wisdom from people who have like more knowledge or experience than you do in whatever dream you're trying to achieve here. It's like, and it could also just be asking for divine guidance, but that's just something. The message of the Star is that you are being divinely guided. You are being guided towards something. And with the Star reversed, this could be saying that is just another message here. This person does not have faith. And they don't have faith in you, or they might be telling you they don't have faith in you. And it's probably partially because they do not have faith. And that's something that is about them. It's not about you. You do not need to take this on. You do not need to internalize this, because this person might just not have faith in the divine. They might not have faith in divine timing. And it's not necessarily that they don't have faith in you and your ability to achieve your dreams. It's that they are ignoring their gut. They're not connected with their spirit guides, and they do not have faith that things are going to work out. And again, that's not necessarily about you. So I want you to kind of take that on. It could be this person might even have said to your face that they don't have faith in you. And again, that's about them. That is not about you. That does not say anything about you or your ability to achieve your dreams. It is all based on this person, their insecurities, the things that they're not working on, the fact that they're, not following whatever their divine path is, their divine passion. They just don't have faith with the star reversed. And this card also talks about like divine inspiration and healing ourselves. And they can see that you're going through that. You're going through some sort of spiritual expansion. You're healing yourself either with the help of animals, or helping heal animals helps to heal you, whatever way that means for you. You are somebody who is feeling inspired to go after your dreams and go after things that are important to you, and to be living a life that is in alignment with your divine path. And they don't feel that same level of inspiration, or they don't understand where that inspiration is coming from. And so I think they're projecting that onto you. And again, like there's a message coming through from Spirit that I feel the need to reiterate. You do not need to take that on, because at its core, it is not about you. It might be directed at you, but it is not about you. So, and that might be something that you have been learning with the release and the expansion that you're like fully aware of, but I just wanted to reiterate that. And then I am going to do the back of the deck because I did it for pile 1. And on the back of the deck, we have the 8 of materials, which is the 8 of pentacles in this deck. I'm sorry that the cards are all crooked. I try my best, but it is what it is. And with the 8 of Pentacles, this is a very hard-working energy. This is the energy of waking up every day and putting in the hard work and putting in like the step-by-step, day-by-day, one day at a time towards your goals, towards your dreams. It's about skill building. It's about potentially like taking classes, asking for help, asking for mentorship, like taking on the task of learning something, either because it interests you, it's part of your passion, it's part of your dream, you're making it happen, you're making it work for you, and it's like a very committed, focused, hardworking energy. And again, it's like that energy of like showing up every day and getting a little bit better every day at whatever you're working on. And that's something that this person absolutely can see about you, and that's something that they're jealous of, because they're not putting the work in, they don't have faith, they don't have belief in themselves or their dreams, and that's kind of sad. But again, this person is not, they're acting out of their shadow self. They're not acting in good faith, and they might like actively have been or currently trying to work against you achieving your dreams. And so if you do need to release this connection and you haven't done it yet, you are being encouraged by Spirit that it is okay to let go of this person, because they are not acting in alignment with their divine self, with their higher truth, with their authentic self. They are generating bad karma for themselves by the way that they are handling whatever your connection is. And again, it could be that you're not like fully aware of this person, but it could just be like people don't understand you, and they might be working against you behind the scenes. You might not be fully aware of it, and in that case, actually, in any case, whatever we're talking about here, however you might know this person or not really know them, or kind of not necessarily be aware, doing personal protection work, you might want to get some evil eye charms, if that is helpful for you. I personally have one hanging above my bed, like above my headboard, to protect me in my dreams. There's a connection about literally dreaming here that might be helpful for you, in order to just like have an extra layer of protection, and like a focus for your divine protection while you sleep. Also doing a cord cutting ceremony, even if you're not sure who this person is, or like if it's people on social media, who might be jealous of you, it's still okay to do like a cord cutting ceremony and just like write down whatever word represents that person or their energy. It could even just be jealous people, just like writing that down, and then having your energy and then doing a cord cutting ceremony. If that's helpful for you, whatever that means for you, that might be something that is helpful in terms of you know, releasing whatever needs to be released here if you feel like there is still an attachment here, if that's helpful for you. And with that said, I am going to end the reading here, pile 2. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please give it a like. That really helps me out. Please feel free to comment down below. Let me know how it resonated for you. And if you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello pile 3, and welcome to your reading. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at who is secretly jealous of you. This might be one person, it might be multiple people, it might be people that you do know or people that you don't know, or this could just be spirit coming through with reasons why somebody might be jealous of you if they were the type to be jealous of people. So we'll see what comes out in the cards. So far it has been kind of getting like a mix between the who and the why, so we shall see what comes out for you. And with that said, I am going to start with the Oracle cards, which I have already pulled for you. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Void of Course Moon, which says, nothing will come of this situation. So this is a very interesting card. And the way that I'm being called to interpret that is the people that this might not be about your energy. This might be about the people who are jealous of you. It could be that you have people either in your energy field or who are aware of you. They might be like members of your family or people you might be close to who can see that you have a plan or like a way forward. You might have be in the process of or recently been going through a transition where you might have been pulling yourself out of a dark time in your life. You might be recovering from something like depression, if that resonates for you, or just been going through, like doing a lot of shadow work, maybe going through like a dark night of the soul here, could be represented here. But if this is coming through as why are people or like who or why are people secretly jealous of you, it might be that you might have people in your orbit who do not have a plan or do not see a way out of their current situation, and they might be looking at you and seeing the way that you might have overcome a challenging situation, or so maybe like a similar situation to the one that this person finds themselves in, and they might be comparing themselves to you and realizing that they don't necessarily know how to get themselves out of the situation that they're in. And they might be feeling jealous of the way that you have managed to overcome the challenge or obstacle that we're talking about here, if this is resonating for you. And I'm going to say this is kind of like it's a darker, it's a heavier feeling. I'm picking up on some sadness here. We do have the crying face emoji as your pile's symbol. So yeah, and again, I just want to give the disclaimer, this is a bit of a heavier energy. I also want to give the disclaimer that I gave in the other piles that if what I'm saying, if how I'm describing you through this person's eyes does not sound 100% accurate to how you see yourself, the disclaimer here is that this is coming from this person's perspective, and it might be a skewed perspective. They might not understand who you are, they might not know you that well, or they might be basing their perception of you on their own insecurities or on their own projections or past experiences that might not be based in reality. So I want to give that as a disclaimer. And then the other disclaimer that I want to give is that just based on the energy of this first card here, this might be a heavier pile. And if what I'm about to say, you find that like nothing I'm saying really resonates for you, there might be messages for you in a different pile, because I'm just getting the sense this reading might go in a particular direction. But if you have been resonating with what I've been saying about maybe recently or like in the recent past you have gone through, or maybe it was like a big or long significant period of your life that might have happened a while ago, but it was significant. You might have gone through a significant period of either depression or struggling with mental health, struggling with self-esteem, struggling to connect to your divine path or your spirituality. You might have felt trapped or lost or confused for a long time. You might have been going through a dark night of the soul, a significant spiritual transformation, but I'm just getting the sense that you are somebody who has pulled yourself out of a dark time in your life, like through any combination of factors, and that might have helped you do that. But I can see that. I think that there's somebody who is still feeling like they're in this energy, who is coming through, and they're feeling jealous of the fact that you are no longer in this place. And I think it's coming from their own pain. And I am feeling a very heavy sensation on my chest right now. So I want to say that, and I also want to say that if it is this person's energy coming through, and they are feeling very, very like heavy, kind of lost, confused, sad, scared, alone, whatever they're feeling, you do not need to take that on. That's a disclaimer I've given for every group so far, because it seems like people are coming, like energies are coming forward of people who might project onto other people, or who might just need help and be either unable or unwilling to ask for the help that they need, if that makes sense. And I just want to say, like, if you are an empathic or compassionate person, which I would wager that you probably are, a lot of us, if we've gone through a spiritual journey like this, are very empathic and compassionate. You might feel like your heart is going out to this person, but the part of the message here is we all have to go through our own journey. You cannot do someone else's healing for them. Of course, we can try and help other people as much as we can, let them know that they're not alone, that they don't have to go through things alone. But at the end of the day, it is up to each of us as individuals to do the shadow work for ourselves, and to take that on for ourselves. So if there is a message coming through about somebody who's in a dark place in their life, who is jealous because you are no longer in a dark place in your life, you do not need to take responsibility for their healing or their well-being, or their sad feelings, or whatever it is that they might be putting on to you, because they might not understand that they might need to turn inward and do that work themselves. So I want to give that disclaimer, because there might be somebody watching who might be highly empathic and prone to taking on other people's emotions. So I just wanted to give that disclaimer. Okay, so the next card we have is White Gold Dragon from Lyra. It says, connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. This is the first time I've used this deck, and I'm going to be honest, this card's a little confusing to me. I'm going to try my best. So, first of all, we have Lyra here. So if you resonate with the idea of being a starseed, you might be a Lyran starseed. That might be something that resonates for you. And then when we're talking about connecting to the highest Christ light, that is talking to me about somebody who's gone through a spiritual ascension. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with... like if you don't believe in things like angels or things that are related to... This is talking about Archangel Christiel or Christiel, I don't really know how to pronounce it. Not necessarily about Jesus Christ. But, it depends on how these things resonate for you. This could be saying that you are working with archangels. And the angels are working with you, very connected with your angels, and there might be a particular angel that is like kind of taking you under their wing and is very connected to you, and this is like an energy of being surrounded by and bathing in the unconditional love and light of like an angelic 9th dimensional, like higher dimension type of universal love. And it's like a very high vibrational energy that I'm picking up here, and it is very much related to being very connected with like an angelic source. And this could also, like if you're not resonating with that, this could also just be confirmation that you have a connection to Lyra. Otherwise, this could be taught. You might have gone through like maybe a Kundalini awakening. You might have gone through like a very intense spiritual ascension of some sort that might have helped you get out of a dark phase in your life. You might have discovered either like religion or spirituality, whatever resonates for you. Well, again, only take whatever resonates for you. It's just there's like an intensity here. It's like that intense white gold light that you are very connected to a divine source, and they are working with you and guiding you, whether you're aware of it or not, or you would call it that or not. There's like I'm getting the sense of somebody who's like like a very bright aura and is very connected with their angels and the divine, and a divine source of love and light that you might have discovered or needed to rely upon at a certain point in your life where you might have felt lost, alone, confused, and in the darkness. You might have reached out to a divine source, and a divine source reached back to you, and you are now very connected to the divine. That's something that's I'm seeing as like a very specific message. If that's resonating for somebody, there's just this like a very high vibrational. There's a powerful divine being who is working with you, whether you're aware of it or not. And I think that they have helped you pull yourself out of a dark period of time in your life, and that might be something that somebody in your orbit, somebody maybe that you are aware of or not aware of, it doesn't really matter, but there might be somebody who is also in a dark period of their life and is jealous. They might be jealous of your connection to the divine. They might be jealous of the way that you have changed or transformed your life, however that applies to you. But I think that they can tell that you are connected to a higher source of love and light, and they probably want that for themselves, and it might be something that their conscious brain does not comprehend because it is so highly spiritual, so highly spiritually evolved. That's just something that I'm getting from these cards. And it's just a very interesting energy here. It's very intense, and so I would think that for some of you, you have a very intense connection to spirit. You could be somebody who is clairvoyant or clairaudient, or like has just a very highly developed crown chakra, if that resonates for you. And if you're thinking that maybe you're not necessarily resonating with the idea that you are highly spiritually or highly spiritually evolved. Again, this could just be confirmation that you have a connection to Lyra, maybe a Lyran starseed, if that resonates for you. And it could also just be a message that you have an angel who is working with you, if that resonates for you. And if either way, if that's the case, like however this is resonating for you, again, I think that people might be jealous because they can sense your connection to the divine, and they might not be able to articulate what exactly that is. They might not connect it with angels or starseeds or anything like that, but they can sense that, and they might be jealous of it. So that's what's coming through with that card. Okay, and then we have the shadow attributes of the dilettante, and that says pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So the way that I interpret these oracle cards is they might represent your energy, they might represent the energy of somebody who is jealous of you, or it could be a combination of both, and it would be sort of like a why, like maybe one of you is embodying this energy and the other one isn't, and there's the discrepancy is what is causing the jealousy, if that makes sense. There could be a combination here. There could be somebody who they might be struggling with something. They see that you have overcome it. They have an unconscious understanding that you are very spiritually connected, and that this is something that you might not be able to explain with words, because it's so high vibrational that it's like, I'm just getting the sense like if you have not experienced something like this, it is very difficult to put it into words. This intense connection to a divine source or a divine love. It's like if you have not experienced what it feels like to tap into a divine love, it is really hard to explain what that feels like. So it could be that this person does not understand, or is just incapable of understanding, how you got yourself out of or overcame a challenge or got yourself out of a dark period of time in your life, maybe by connecting with your spirituality, however that resonates for you. But they might be pretending to understand, or they might be like putting on an air of spirituality, or they might be trying to like mimic you, but they don't get it. they just don't get it. They're just pretending. And it's like it's a pretension to a much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. They might be again, it's just an energy of somebody who's trying to mimic this connection, and they don't get it. Like it's either because they're not spiritual themselves, they're not spiritually connected, they're not, and it could just be like they're not necessarily aware of how to connect with their spirit guides. They're not aware of how to connect with a more angelic source. They might, or it could be that they don't. Their heart is shut off to any sort of divine source. Like they might have a very blocked crown chakra or third eye, and they might be going through the motions of trying to be spiritual in some way, to practice, kind of like perform their spirituality, but without actually doing the necessary things to form a real connection with their spirit guides, if that makes sense. Because they might not actually believe in it, but they might be trying to mimic you because they see how big of a difference it's made for you, if that's resonating for you. This could also be here because this person might, if there's somebody who just does not understand this level of spirituality, they might think that you are faking. They might think that you are just pretending. This might be how this person sees you, as somebody who is just being pretentious about spirituality, or just being like you might be. Even if you're not someone who really necessarily would share everything about the spiritual experiences that you've had, this person might think that that all of this type of spirituality is like very kind of fake, or they might think it's pretentious. They might think that it's very like kind of woo woo and and very like hippie crap was what I just heard. Like they just might think that it's ridiculous. Like they might think that that tarot card readings are all fake, or that that psychics are all or psychic mediums, psychic readings are all just like money grabs, or that kind of thing, where it's like they don't believe in it, and they think that that your connection to spirituality is all a lie for whatever reason. And it could be that both interpretations are true. This person might be trying to mimic your level of spirituality because they see how it's worked for you, but they don't actually believe in it, and they don't believe that you actually believe in it either. Like it's kind of a maybe a more complex energy like that, if that is resonating for you. And again, you might not know who this person is. This might be an example where you might have like a social media channel where you have like talked openly about your spiritual journey and how much your spirituality has helped you maybe overcome challenges or overcome a dark period of time in your life, or a period of time where you were confused or lost or didn't know where to go next. It's a void of course. It doesn't have a course. And you might have talked about like how your spiritual experiences have really helped you. And you might have somebody who's like following you on social media who you might not know them, but they might be like very skeptical about spirituality and spiritual experiences, especially things like when we're talking about things like starseeds and stuff. They might think that that's like way out there, and at the same time, they might be trying to mimic some of your spirituality behaviors out of curiosity, or maybe because this could also be saying that this person is like loudly trying to debunk your spiritual experiences because they're pretending to a much deeper knowledge. So they might assume that that they know that you didn't go through any kind of spiritual experiences and that you're just lying, when they don't. How could they possibly know that your experiences weren't real? Because they didn't happen to this person, they happened to you. So that could also be a possible interpretation there. Just a very interesting energy here. And again, it could be somebody that you do know personally who is acting like this. So just take this however it resonates for you. Okay, and then we have the Workaholic card, which is connected with the throat chakra. And there is a message with this card about And this might be something that resonates for you, or this could just be a projection from this person. But there is a message about learning a lesson that, you know, we need to find a work-life balance. You know, there's the blueberry on this card learns a lesson that, you know, yes, it's important to work hard. However, we don't want to burn ourselves out. So it's also important to make time for the things that we enjoy doing. And that might be something that you might, especially if this is connected with the throat chakra, that might have been something that you have shared about your experiences learning how to balance. Even if it's not directly related to work, it could just be learning how to balance moderation in your own life. And, you know, if this resonates for you, just only take it if it resonates. There could be a connection here about being like in recovery of some kind from some type of maybe addictive substance or addictive behavior, even if it's not related to work. It could be related to workaholism and perfectionism, or it could be related to something a little bit more destructive in terms of like it might have been the reason why you were in this dark place or dark situation might have been because you were engaging in some sort of self-destructive pattern of behavior or addictive substance, and then you found your connection to spirituality, which helped you pull yourself out of that place, and now you've been working on balance and you know, moderating the things that you can moderate and trying to find a way to balance the like responsibilities with self-care and making time for the things that you enjoy, and particularly creative expression if that is meaningful for you, because we do have you know, like art easels and painting as a part of this card. So, and you know, again, with the throat chakra, that might have been something that you've been very kind of verbal about or expressive about how much that you have learned and how much this has helped you. It could also be saying you might be involved in like art therapy or something like that might have been very helpful for you, or like how the way that creative expression has helped you overcome some challenge in your life might have been something you've talked openly about, and that might be something that people are jealous of. There could be, again, people who don't believe you, and there could also be people who are jealous because they don't have the confidence to or they maybe they just don't know how to get to a place of balance. And they're jealous of you because it might seem like it's something that comes easily to you. Even though they might not see the amount of hard work it's taken to get to this point, but you know, just take that however it resonates for you. And then we have passion, which is connected with the sacral chakra, and we also have this like a similar color on this dilettante card and on this dragon card, the kind of orangey color of the sacral chakra, which is connected with emotions, creativity, especially creative expression, and sexuality. And this passion card does talk about somebody who kind of discovers their life passion or purpose. Other people might tell them that it's not worth doing, or it's beneath them, or why are you trying to help people who are, you know, who are in a certain place? Like why are you turning around and trying to give back to people when you have a higher social status than they do? And it's because this is my passion, this is my life's calling, this is my life's purpose, is to give back to other people. There's a message here about the princess on the card who is volunteering her time to help with help share her passions with like the peasants in her kingdom, and you know, her family, the royal family, are saying like, this is beneath you, why are you spending your time doing this? And the princess said, well, I feel passionate about this because everybody is equal, you know, and so I feel like I need to share my gifts with everybody equally. And there's a story here where the monarchy is dissolved and the people elect a leader, and they end up electing the princess as their leader. So, you know, I don't know, however that might resonate for you, but this, at its core, it's about following your passion, giving back, and volunteering, if that is something that is meaningful for you, and simply because it is something that is in alignment with your divine purpose and something that is helpful for other people. That's a worthwhile reason to helping other people, because it helps them, is a worthwhile reason for helping, you know, and that could be something that you might have come up against with somebody else in your social circle. And I think that there might be people who are jealous of how you followed your passion and how passionate you are about the things that you believe in. And I'm getting the sense here from the Dragon card that might include your spirituality, how passionate you are about your connection to spirit, if that resonates for you. And the dilettante is also connected with creative expression, particularly artistic expression. And then we have the art on this card, and then this card also connected with the sacral chakra, about creativity and creative expression. So it could be that you have a creative hobby, or you have like a creative career or a creative business you're working really hard on, you feel very passionate about it, and there might be people who are jealous of your artistic ability, or your talent, or how you have been able to produce such high quality work, or they might just be jealous because you're really good at what you do and you clearly feel passionate about it, and they might not have that same level of passion in their life. And as I said, there might be somebody who's currently going through maybe a depressive episode or a dark night of the soul, who is not feeling creatively inspired, and might feel like they've lost their connection to their creativity. You might be feeling a little bit jealous because you're in a different place in your life than they are in their life. And again, you do not need to take that on for this person, but that could be another thing that's coming through. It might not be like jealousy in like a malicious way. It might just be, they can see that you are feeling passionate and creative and inspired in a certain point in your life, however that applies to you, and they might be jealous of that, if that's something that's resonating for you. Again, I want to say this is a very kind of much more specific message. So if none of this has resonated with you so far, this might not be your pile. I just want to say that. But if it has resonated for you, then let us get into the tarot cards. So, who is secretly jealous of pile 3, Spirit? What can you tell me about the person or people who are secretly jealous of pile 3? Who is secretly jealous of pile 3, Spirit? Who is secretly... Okay, we have the Queen of Emotions, which is the Queen of Cups in this deck. And since it's here upright, I would say this is probably representing your energy. Definitely, especially because there's this flower on her head that I would associate very highly with the crown chakra, that people can see you have a very open crown chakra, which would be echoing this like a very highly spiritually evolved energy here, like a strong connection to your own divinity and your connection to spirit here. That would be reflected like on the artwork on this card for me, and it's people can see you as a Queen of Cups, and that again would kind of echo the message of the Passion card, of somebody who's very nurturing and compassionate and caring and wants to give back to other people if that is something that is meaningful for you. Somebody who's very emotionally mature, connected with their emotional body, with the connection to the sacral chakra there as well, and you are perceived as somebody who is very caring and compassionate. That's what I'm seeing with the Queen of Cups here. Like you have almost like mastered your emotions in some way, and it could be through like the word that came into my head when I was pointing in this card was temperance. It's like that balance, finding a balance, finding a balance between responsibility and having fun. It's like a very, very kind of, the Queen of Emotions is the Queen of Cups is a very balanced energy, and people can see you in this energy, and I think they're jealous of that. They're jealous of your energy, and Cups is also associated with creative expression, so there could also be another connection to creativity there for you. And if there is somebody who believes that that you are maybe like a little bit pretentious, or like you're lying about something, or that you don't really have this spiritual connection and it's not actually real, the fact that they still see you as a Queen of Cups upright tells me that regardless of what they believe about your connection to spirit, they still see you as somebody who has a big heart, and they're jealous of that. Maybe because they don't have that same nurturing heart. Maybe and it could be that they think it's fake. That they think that your compassion or your desire to give back to other people, however this applies to you, they might again think that you're that you're faking, or it's not real, or, you know, and that's all their stuff. That's their own stuff. That has nothing to do with you, and you don't need to take that on. You know, that's, I think, is something that they are projecting, or might be based on previous experiences that they have had with people who have a similar energy to yours, who might have had bad intentions, or who might have been lying about something, who might have been deceptive with this person, and they might be projecting that onto you. But I think they're jealous of your connection to spirit and your big heart and your compassionate energy, and they might also not believe that it's real. So that's something that's coming through. And then we have the Eight of Emotions reversed, which is the Eight of Cups reversed, and that would definitely make sense to me, because the Eight of Cups upright is talking about when we choose to walk away from something that's no longer serving us. So if there were situations here in this Void of Course Moon card that were like, you might have been in a period of time in your life where you had attachments to people who were toxic, where you were in a situation where you might have felt stuck, you might have felt stagnant, like you didn't know how to get out of the place that you were in, and again, like having connections with people who were just either in a toxic energy, or had, you know, maybe like a codependent dynamic. There might have been like narcissistic people in your life, or people who had bad intentions, who were very manipulative, and you might have walked away from those people and those situations, and if you were engaging in maybe self-destructive behaviors, you had those patterns, you were acting out of your shadow self, you've done the spiritual work since then to leave those parts of yourself behind, and to leave certain connections behind and certain people behind who are no longer serving you, whether they're people, situations, patterns of behavior, thoughts, self-limiting beliefs, whatever we're talking about here that you chose to walk away from. This person hasn't done that yet, and they might not do that. And I think getting a sense they might feel like they're stuck here, and they don't know how to get out of here, out of this energy. And they might hear you saying, like literally explaining how you got yourself out of your situation that you were in, and they are struggling to believe that that is real. That's kind of what's coming through. You know, they might think you have some sort of like magic formula, or, you know, or just, you just woke up one day and you were cured. Like, I don't really know what this person believes, but I think that they are still stuck in a bad situation. They don't know how to get out of it. And I think that they don't necessarily recognize that they have the power, that choice to walk away from situations that are not in alignment with who they are, walk away from people who are toxic in their life, walk away from self-destructive behaviors, whatever that takes, like whatever they have to do to make that happen, they have that power within them. But I think that they're struggling to see that, like they don't know how to connect to that. And again, it might not be coming from a place of maliciousness. They might just not know how to get out of the place that they're in, and that might be why they feel jealous of you. And again, they might hear you describe how you got yourself out of a dark time in your life, and they don't believe what you're saying. Maybe, or they might not believe that that what you did and what worked for you would work for them. They might believe that they are the exception to the rule, or that your situations are too different. But it could be that they are lying to themselves about that. So I wanted to say that. Who is secretly jealous of pile 3? Spirit, who is secretly jealous of pile 3? Who is? Okay. Whoa, okay. It jumped out of the deck. All right. Are these upright or reversed? Spirit. Okay, this one is upright. And what about this one, Spirit? Okay. All right. So these two cards coming out are telling me that, especially that they came out together, are telling me that this might be an ex. This might be a past romantic connection or past romantic situation. It could be even a past friendship or acquaintance that might have had romantic feelings for you that you might either not have reciprocated, or you might not even have known about. And these cards here might be saying that this person might have been something that you walked away from because it was not healthy for you. They're not in a healthy energy. They might not have been in a healthy energy back then, and you might have recognized that, and that you cannot save everyone, and that you were not able to, if this person wasn't willing to do the work, you could not do the work for them. So you might have chosen to walk away from this person if that's resonating for you, or it could be that that they chose to walk away from you because you were changing and evolving and growing, and pulling yourself out of this dark time and getting very into your spirituality. If that's resonating for you, you might have gotten very into your creativity and discovered a new passion of some sort, and this person might have not liked that, and might have either sabotaged the relationship or walked away from you. So take that however it resonates. If this is resonating as like an ex or a past romantic connection, we do have the Knight of Cups here, and then the Three of Swords reversed, which is why I'm saying that. The Knight of Cups here would just be a message that that this person, they might have come towards you with a romantic offer, or they might have wanted to and then not gone through with it. Or the fact that these cards came out together could be saying this person approached you in a romantic sense and you rejected them, and they felt absolutely devastated or heartbroken about it. And they might still feel devastated and heartbroken about if you walked away from them or whatever it means. This could even be like a platonic connection, that that if you chose to walk away from people in your life who were not in alignment with your spiritual growth, there might be people who are like very hung up on the fact that you chose to walk away, and like really heartbroken about it. And again, you do not have to take that on for this person, just reiterating that. And there could also be another way to interpret this as, if you are currently embodying a Queen of Cups energy, you might have people who, like, either you might have like a romantic partner in your life, and be in a very loving connection with somebody, or you might receive a lot of romantic offers, a lot of attention from people, and this person might see that and like literally a Knight of Cups, and why is somebody jealous of you? It could be that, or like, what are they jealous about? It's like they might be jealous about the attention that you're receiving, or about your relationship, if that is something that's resonating for you. And even if you feel like you don't receive romantic offers, or that's not resonating for you, this person might see you being in a Queen of Cups energy and feel like people are coming towards you, and like you have so many options, and you're in such a beautiful, attractive energy that that of course you get romantic offers all the time. Like, of course you do, and they might be feeling jealous of that like they can't compete with somebody who might be coming towards you as like a genuine Knight of Cups, like an upright Knight of Cups. They might not be able to compete with that, with other people's romantic offers towards you, and they might be feeling jealous about that. And if that was resonating for you, it could also be saying, if this is a more platonic connection, that this person recognizes that they cannot match the energy of people who are coming towards you with genuine emotional connections, with like people who are emotionally mature and emotionally open. They can't match that energy because they're in an unhealthy place in their life. They might be operating out of their shadow self, engaging in toxic behaviors, whatever we want to call it. They realize that they cannot match that energy, and they might be feeling jealous of that. So that is potential interpretations for that. There could also be a connection between this Three of Swords reversed and this Void of Course Moon card. You might have overcome a very horrible, heartbreaking, very painful situation in your life. There might have been a betrayal. You might have been cheated on. You might have been left by a romantic partner. It could be something that's not related to romance at all. There could have been like a loss of some kind, and it was just absolute devastation with the Three of Swords reversed, and that might be part of something that you have overcome, if that resonates for you. And this person can see that you have overcome that, and they're jealous of that, of your ability to overcome something that was really horribly, devastatingly painful. Even if you still feel that pain to this day, you do not necessarily show that. Or if you're talking about how you have overcome it, it doesn't like rule your life anymore. This person might not realize, if you still like think about this pain from time to time, and it's still something that you carry with you, even though you have learned how to cope with it, they might think that you're just like totally over it, and you don't care about it anymore, and that might be something that that they're upset about, if that is resonating for you. Okay, and then the last card just jumped out of the deck. So we have, I'm going to move these over. So we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. And that's interesting because for me, that would talk about maybe somebody who has the opportunity. How am I going to express this? This would talk to me about somebody who could potentially have a breakthrough or an epiphany of some kind, and it's blocked. That is how I'm being called to interpret this Ace of Swords reversed, is this person could have had the same, if you had like a moment of divine inspiration that snapped you out of a dark time in your life, if you figured out how to connect with your spirituality or your creativity, however that is resonating for you, you figured out how to tap into something that helped you heal from something that was very painful and upsetting, a very dark time in your life. Again, it's like if you're feeling lost and confused and alone, you don't know where to go, you might not have had a sense of purpose, you might have been engaging in self-destructive behaviors, you might have been going through a dark night of the soul. Whatever this means for you, you might have had a moment where you had like a sudden realization of like, oh, okay, this is a way to move forward. Or you might have had like a spiritual experience where, you know, your spirit guides or your angels came to you and said, like we're here. This is how you can take one step forward. And you might have taken that and run with it. Like you might, like this again is saying, you might have had a moment of divine inspiration that got you out of a dark time in your life. This person might have had that same opportunity or a similar opportunity, and they chose to ignore it. Or what I was saying about having like a blocked crown chakra or a blocked third eye or both, this person, their angels or spirit guides might have been trying to get them to see something or change their perspective in some way, get like a new perspective on something, and it's blocked, they're resisting it. They're not paying attention to the signs. They're not paying attention to whatever moment of divine inspiration came for them. They did not pay attention to it or did not follow that path. And they, I think, are jealous of the fact that you did. And that might be something that is 100% on a subconscious level, that they might not be like consciously aware of. But if you are somebody who's very open about your spirituality and how much it has helped you in your life, they might either recognize that they ignored a moment of divine inspiration in their own life and they feel jealous of the fact that that you chose to go through with it, or they think that you're lying because their own connection to spirit is so blocked, you know, through their own blockages. You know, it's like through a blockage that they're creating just because they just like are so resistant to the idea of spirituality or spiritual connection in any kind of way, and they might think it's really pretentious, they might think it's all made up, all like silliness, you know, and they just don't get it. Like, this is the energy of someone who just doesn't get it. It's like fully blocked off. They might be fully blocked off from their spirituality, and you know, they think that you're either lying about it or you're just like, and because it's blocked, they're unable to make this new start, this with the ace, like this new beginning, this fresh start, this new cycle. They're unable to, because they're not paying attention to the gut feelings, the intuition, the signs that would help them get out of this place. And because they don't believe you when you tell them exactly, or maybe not them specifically, but when you express exactly how you did it, if that makes sense. And then we have the Empress on the back of the deck. And that just really confirms for me a lot of the other things that we're seeing here. You know, it's a very divine feminine energy. It is very much connected with the spirit of creativity, with somebody who has faith and is very, very divinely guided, very connected with their spiritual self. It's a very much vibing with a Queen of Cups energy. Somebody who's very compassionate. And somebody who has faith in the divine and their connection to spirit and their ability to manifest things. And it, again, it's like, it's just a very creative energy. There's a lot of messages here about creativity. So if that is resonating for you, then this might be extra confirmation from your spirit guides that your creativity is a divine gift. this could also be saying that that's what this person is jealous of. They're jealous of your ability to have faith in the divine, your ability to follow your divine path, and your creative gifts and talents, whatever they may be. Even if it's not like fine art, it might be like content creation or something a little bit more abstract. Like there might be like a creative way to do business. There might be a creative way to do accounting or something like that. It's just like however you tap into your creative side. I think that's something that this person is very jealous of. So that's what I'm seeing for you today, pile 3. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like. That really helps me out. Please feel free to comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. And if you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching pile 3, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello pile 4, and welcome to your reading. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at who is secretly jealous of you. This might be one person, it might be multiple people, or it might just be Spirit's way of telling you things that other people might be jealous of about you, which are things that you should probably be proud of. So just a little bit of an ego boost from Spirit if there is nobody in your circle or your orbit who is harboring jealous feelings. So anyway, we'll see what comes out in the cards. And with that said, I am going to get started with your oracle cards, which I have already pulled for you. And we have the full moon in Pisces, which says balance spirituality and practicality, which is a pretty clear message. This would tell me that that you're giving off the energy of somebody who is very balanced. I think that you probably cultivate a spiritual practice. People are probably aware of your spirituality and what it means what it means to you in your life. And I think they're also aware that you do have a practical mindset. Like this, that the balanced nature here is reminding me of somebody who has like a very balanced divine feminine and divine masculine, which just to reiterate is regardless of your gender. Divine feminine energy could be connected with spirituality, having faith that the things that are meant for you are going to come towards you in divine timing, and then the divine masculine about a more practical mindset, taking care of your responsibilities, engaging in self-care activities, doing whatever you need to do in terms of like your career and your day-to-day responsibilities. So people see you as being very balanced. This is also a full moon. It's a full moon in Pisces, so people might see you as being, what just came to me is it's the full moon, and it's also the full moon in Pisces, which Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, the 12th sign. And so what came to me is people might see you as being very emotionally mature. The moon connected with emotions, and then it's the last sign, so it's like a mature handling of your emotions. You might be a Pisces, sun, moon, or rising, if that resonates for you. But even if you're not, I think that people just see you as being very balanced. They see you as being connected with your spirituality and also incorporating practical things into your daily life. And I think people are probably envious of that because it can be really hard to achieve a balance in that sense. And with the Pisces energy here, you might also come across as somebody who is maybe a bit of a dreamer, maybe a bit esoteric. You might express yourself in a creative way that might be meaningful for you. While at the same time, with the balance here, you are also perceived to be grounded at the same time, very grounded at the same time. So I'm, picking up the image of somebody who has like all of their chakras open and in alignment, very balanced. So that's what's coming through with this card. And then we have, so some water and more water energy here. We have the aquamarine dragon from Neptune, which enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. So definitely a strong connection with spirituality there, another connection with water. You might be a water sign, particularly a Pisces, or you might just have a lot of water in your chart, and you might feel as though you have the innate ability to access wisdom from, like soul level wisdom from past lives. You might have lived many past lives. You might be a starseed from a water planet, I can't remember off the top of my head. You know, I don't know a ton about starseeds, but I know that there are planets that are like mostly water, so that might resonate for you. But you are just coming across as somebody who is both in touch with their emotions and emotionally mature, and also practical. And this card also speaks to me about not only are you able to have an innate wisdom that comes from your soul having lived multiple lifetimes, you have like a deep soul wisdom, you are able to tap into that and then also apply it in practical ways in your life. So that would be where the balance between spiritual and practicality comes in. And you might have a very well-developed throat chakra with the blue energy here. You might be very good at, just like have a very good innate understanding. You might have a high emotional IQ is what is coming through, and also be very good at expressing yourself and expressing your emotions. Or that is something that is like an innate part of your personality. You might have, you know, gone through some challenges in your life that might have like shut down that part of you, if that's something that resonates for you. But I would see it as like a core part of your personality, is just innately knowing how to express your emotions and how to do that in a practical way that would enable you to get your emotional needs met in whatever situation we're talking about here, while also using your wisdom and your knowledge to know when it is appropriate to share your emotions and when it might be inappropriate to do so. And you know, and you might have like a spirit animal or a spirit guide that shows up in the form of like a fish or a seahorse or some other aquatic animal. Again, only if that resonates for you. Otherwise, don't worry about it. But that's just something that I'm seeing there. Okay, and then the next card we have is the shadow attribute of the addict. So this says, compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So there could be a message here. Again, only take this if it resonates for you, but it's like literally the addict card here might be that you might be in recovery from something, whether that is an addiction, a substance abuse disorder, or maybe a process addiction, something like gambling or shopping, or it could be that you know, that you have struggled with an eating disorder. It might be some other type of like addictive or compulsive behavior that was like a self-destructive pattern that you might have overcome, and that might be the reason why we have this balance of spirituality and practicality. I know personally from my own experience that that is big in the recovery community. It's like the spirituality aspect, so that we can find a meaning for ourselves that is outside of ourselves, that helps us surrender the idea that we can control our addictive behavior. It's out of my control, I surrender it, and spirituality really helps with that. And it helps give our lives meaning and purpose outside of our addictive behavior or our addictions. And with the practical side, you know, there can be, you know, there's practical steps that you can take in order to you know, work a program of recovery. So if that is something that resonates for you, that might be something that people are jealous of. This could also be saying that you have somebody in your life who is currently struggling with an addiction. Again, it could be a substance abuse or some other type of behavioral addiction, or like a self-destructive pattern of behavior. They might be, if it compromises integrity and honesty, they might be somebody who is lying or stealing or to support their habit, or somebody who might have like really hurt you or harmed you or betrayed you in some way because of their own addictive behavior. It could be both. You know, just take whatever resonates for you. And it could be that if there is somebody in your life who would match that description, they're jealous of the fact that you seem to have like found the secret formula to like balance things in your life. And you know, and if we're going to infer that, you know, from the full moon in Pisces and the connection to a deeper soul wisdom with and especially like an emotional wisdom with the dragon card, there might be somebody whose life is currently in chaos because they might be in active addiction or struggling with something like that, and they see that your life is not in chaos. You have achieved a balance, and I think to them it seems effortless. despite, for you, it might have taken you a long time to figure out how to balance these aspects of your life. You might have gone on a very long spiritual journey. You might have gone through a dark night of the soul and a spiritual ascension, whatever resonates for you. But, this could have been a difficult process for you, even though you do have an innate connection to this inner wisdom. It could have been really difficult for you to figure out how to incorporate your spirituality and your practicality in a way that made sense for you. That might have been a long, difficult process. This person might not be able to kind of like see or acknowledge the work that you have put in. They might not be willing to do that work themselves, and they might be jealous of the fact that to them it seems like this stuff comes easily to you. And it could be that it does come easily to you, like especially the spiritual connection here. You could have like an innate understanding of how to balance and moderate things that this person is not good at, or they're currently struggling with. If you're struggling with an addiction, you're not really practicing moderation. Right? So that could be something that this person's really struggling with. And if that's the case, then I could see them being jealous of you because they can see you living a balanced lifestyle. And it could also be with this throat chakra energy here that if you're resonating with the idea that you might have gone through a tough period of your life and it might have taken you a while to achieve this balance, or like what this person perceives as being very balanced, you might have asked for help with the throat chakra energy. You might have needed to communicate that you were struggling with something, even if you were just asking for help from your spirit guides, and that might be something that this person struggles with, and that might be another thing that they're jealous of about you. And if you're coming through as somebody with a very balanced energy here, this also, the fact that it's the shadow attributes of the addict, there might, if this person is struggling with an addiction of some kind, this is the kind of red color of the root chakra. They might have a very closed or imbalanced root chakra and just be feeling very insecure, like they don't have any sense of security, which would make sense for somebody who's currently struggling with an addictive or some other type of self-destructive behavior. If that's resonating for you, this could also be saying that for some reason there's somebody in your life who, and I'm going to give the disclaimer I gave in all the other piles that, this is just this person's perception of you. So if what I'm saying doesn't 100% resonate with how you actually are, it's because it's coming through this person's eyes. How this person sees you might be based on, they might not know you, they might never have spoken to you in person, they might only know you from social media. This could be an acquaintance who you might have had like a handful of conversations with, and they might just not have a clear or accurate idea of who you are, or it could be somebody who is projecting onto you their own insecurities and their own stuff, their own baggage, their own trauma, which you do not have to take on. Because it's, if it's their stuff, it's not about you. So I just wanted to give that disclaimer because I think it's important. But there could be somebody, if you're not resonating with the idea of, there might be somebody in your life who is currently in active addiction or struggling with another addictive behavior. There might be somebody in your life who, for whatever reason, believes that you are not being honest, and that you are not in control of your behavior in some way, if that makes sense, because it allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. There might be somebody who believes that you have an addiction, or that you are like hiding something from them, or that you are engaging in some sort of compulsive behavior. This could be, if you are somebody who is very into spirituality, like you are watching a tarot reading, but if you are somebody who like really cultivates a spiritual practice, there could be somebody in your life who doesn't understand spirituality, who might think it's like really hippy dippy and weird and like really out there, and that they might think that it's like it's all fake and it's just people trying to take your money. And I know there are people that believe that. There are a lot of people that believe that, and you might have tried to explain to this person that it's not like that, but they might just not understand, and they might think that you are being drawn into something that is nefarious or not good for you. If that resonates for you, there could be, if you're not resonating with the addict message, there could be somebody in your life who, they might be genuinely concerned, but it's just because they don't understand. There might be that they are just like incapable of really understanding, or they haven't taken the time to kind of figure out what your spirituality means for you, and and the way that you practice your spirituality, and the fact that it's not nefarious, and it's in fact pretty harmless, and it's something that is helpful for you if it is helpful for you, and the fact that you have incorporated it into your life in a way that is balanced for you. It's like they can see that, and at the same time, that I think there's part of them that believes that there's something weird going on here, if that resonates for you. So there's like a couple of different possible interpretations there. So as always, only take whatever resonates for you. And then we have, okay, this one's interesting. So I mean, these are all interesting, but we have the Discovery card here, which is connected with the root chakra. And if we have this balanced energy here, which I was saying was like a mix between spirituality, being connected with your spirit guides, with your inner soul knowing, with maybe like wisdom and knowledge that you have gained over the course of multiple lifetimes, just having like an innate ability to tap into like your intuition, your gut feelings, and just feeling very spiritually driven. That in combination with the grounded energy of the practicality here, of being able to use that wisdom and incorporate it into your daily life, and it's like a very kind of like responsible energy that I'm picking up here. You might have a very stable root chakra. But what's interesting is this card is connected with the root. There's also this heart energy here. It's like there's literally a heart on this card, and this person is discovering their connection to spirit. And by making this discovery, they have started on a journey of self-empowerment and of leaving the past behind, like leaving behind things. It's not the whole past, but leaving behind the things that are no longer serving them. So with this energy here, there could be a message that there might be somebody from your past who, who might be in there, like the shadow attributes of the addict card. You might have known them in your past because you might also have been in the shadow attributes of the addict card, and you might have had a spiritual awakening of some kind, or gone on a journey of self-empowerment, self-discovery that led you to your spirituality, that helped you walk away from things that were not healthy for you, things that were not serving you anymore. And that it might have nothing to do with addiction at all. So just, this is more just like maybe more a compulsive urge to engage in self-destructive behavior or acting out of your shadow side, if the addict message is not resonating for you. So I want to say that a message won't be for everybody. But you could also have been maybe engaged in like a codependent relationship with somebody who was struggling from an addiction. That's another possible interpretation. As always, just take whatever resonates for you. What I'm seeing here is you might have gone through a heart chakra expansion with the heart on this card. This kind of greeny color is also associated with the heart. You might have done that as a way to reconnect with your emotional body, while also setting healthy boundaries in a practical way here. And that might have really helped you re-stabilize and reopen your root chakra, your sense of security, your sense of stability. This balanced energy here is very stable. And that, I think, if this message is coming from somebody who's in this archetype, that might be something that they're jealous of. Because they can see this journey that you've been on and how it has helped you restabilize yourself and reconnect with your emotional body, which is something that you have always had the innate ability to do. You might be somebody who is very empathic and just has like a real connection to your emotional body. That's what's coming through here. And I just see you going on this spiritual journey of self-discovery and reconnecting with your heart. And then through the process of doing that, again, like restabilizing yourself and also needing to express things with the blue energy on this card, needing to express things that are related to your emotions that might have been painful, but they might have been things that needed to be said. And it's not necessarily in the sense that, sometimes we have a difficult conversation with somebody, not because we need them to be able to hear us, but because it's important for our growth and our own self-esteem to know that we said the thing we needed to say. you know, it's sometimes, again, there's no chance of somebody being able to understand what we're saying, and at the same time it can still be important to say it for our own well-being. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. I hope that that I'm able to get that across here. And then with this message here, like this, I think this is a symbol of your spirit guides. And then there's also a moon on this card. And I've said it before, but for me, the moon on a card that doesn't typically necessarily have a moon on it, like, you know, the cards in this deck don't all have moons on them, is a symbol for me that that your spirit guides are working behind the scenes. So this would be just a message for you that you are very divinely guided. And with the balance, spirituality, and practicality, you probably know that. I would say that you probably can see the way in which your spirit guides are connected with you, and are there trying to guide you, especially if you've gone on this journey of discovering your connection to spirit and self-discovery, and rediscovering your connection to your emotional body, if that is something that is resonating for you. Oh, sorry, I forgot also to say, this card also carries a message about that it's okay to ask for help. That you might have needed help on this journey, and you might have literally had to ask for help, and that it was something I was seeing with the blue on this card, with the connection to the throat chakra, and that might be something that this person is jealous of, because they might feel like they need help, but they, for whatever reason, are not willing or able to express that. And they might be jealous of the fact that you have gone and done that, and they might have the idea that either this was easy for you, or you made it look easy, or on the flip side, they might have seen how difficult it was, and they might both be jealous of your ability to do that, and the courage and strength of spirit that you have displayed by doing that, and also be thinking to themselves that they don't have those same attributes, they don't have the courage or strength to go through it, and that might be causing a feeling of jealousy, whether or not this person actually, you know, has those traits to be able to go through the same type of journey that you've been through, if that's resonating for you. And then we have the wisdom card, which is connected with the heart chakra. So that would definitely, first of all, echo the message here, this deep soul wisdom, that you have just like an innate connection to your inner wisdom. It is connected with the heart, with our emotions and relationships. I think that you are probably very empathic. I think that you have like a natural ability to connect with other people on an emotional level. You might be a very good communicator because you are very insightful, because of the wisdom that your soul has gained over many lifetimes, and because of your connection to spirit guides. This card can also carry a message that some of your spirit guides are your ancestors. If that resonates for you, if it's helpful to hear that you might have people who are part of your family who might have passed away, who are with you and are guiding you. And then this card can also talks about like an innate wisdom, and it also talks, again, it carries that message of that it's okay to ask for help. And again, even if that's only asking for help from your spirit guides, it's still an important part, I think, of your journey. And if we're talking here about, you know, what is this person jealous of? What are people jealous of about you? You know, I would say that they're jealous of your innate wisdom. They can see that about you. They see what somebody's very wise. You know, with this Pisces energy, the dragon energy, literally this card says wisdom on it. And you might be very emotionally intelligent, and you are being divinely guided. And that might be something that people, they might not know how to articulate that's what they're seeing in you, but they on a subconscious level, their higher self knows that you are being divinely guided, and you're following the guidance of your spirit guides, that you are allowing yourself to be guided by spirit. That might be something that they do know on a conscious level, and they might be jealous of that, of your like ability to follow like your intuition and your gut feelings, and your you know, if you see signs and synchronicities, if you have like literally get downloads of messages from spirit, they might be really jealous of that, and they might, whoever is jealous of you might feel like that you know, in the message that certain things come easily to you. It is because of the soul's wisdom that your soul has, and because of the hard work you have put into going on this journey of discovery and finding a balance between your spiritual connection and your practical side. So I think I lost my train of thought, but I was saying people might be jealous because there are things that come easily to you that do not come easily to them. That was the basic point I was trying to make there. So that's what I'm seeing with the Oracle cards, and I'm going to move into the tarot. Who is secretly jealous of pile 4? Who is... Whoop, okay. Who is secretly jealous of... Whoop. Okay. Alright, so the first card we have is the Muse of Voices, which is the King of Swords in this deck. And this could be the energy of somebody who's jealous, or people who are jealous of you. This could be a specific person that you are aware of, or this could be how people see you. They might see you as a King of Swords, and a King of Swords is somebody who is very practical, very logical and practical, does not make decisions based on emotion. They're somebody who's a very clear communicator, and somebody who takes care of their responsibilities, and is not afraid to walk away from things that are not in alignment with the greater good for the most amount of people. And it's you know, if you're resonating with that, with the idea that when you were going through your spiritual journey, or if you're still going through it, the idea that you recognize that you might need to cut ties with specific people or walk away from people who are no longer serving you, that is something that a King of Swords is very good at. There might be people who recognize that about you and might be jealous of your ability to prioritize your own needs and having those needs met. Even if it ends up like hurting somebody else's feelings, you know, you're still like, you can feel empathy for that person and at the same time still prioritize your own needs, because that is something that is your responsibility. If that's resonating for you, this could also be saying that you might have somebody in your life, maybe if you're resonating with the idea of somebody in your life who might be in the shadow addict attribute right now, they might be somebody who is very analytical, logically minded, who does not understand spirituality and does not understand your connection to the divine. If that's resonating, like if what I was saying about somebody who sees you being involved in spirituality, and doesn't understand it and might think that you're being kind of like sucked into something, they might be represented here by this King of Swords, who is somebody, again, very analytical, very logical, and you know, it might just not have a lot of time for things like spirituality, and might be like legitimately concerned for you, because, you know, that they're are people, and I know this from my own experience, there are people who see things like tarot readings and different aspects of modern spirituality and like astrology and numerology and stuff like that, and think that it is dangerous in some way. So if that is something that is resonating for you, then I would say that it is that person's energy coming through here. They might also be an air sign. The sign that's coming into my head particularly strongly is Aquarius. I don't know why, but you might have an Aquarius in your life who fits that archetype, or not. You know, you would know how this applies to you. But again, this could be representing your energy. It could be representing the energy of a person or multiple people who are jealous of you, and or it could be both. Who is secretly jealous of pile 4 spirit? Who is secretly... Well, okay. Okay. So we have... Okay, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So the first thing that's coming into my head is this might have been a romantic connection that didn't work out. This might be an ex, or this could be... maybe somebody who extended a romantic offer towards you and you might have rejected them. If that is resonating for you as somebody that you might know. And there might also be a connection, again, if you were resonating with what I was saying about maybe having somebody in your life who really doesn't understand spirituality, they might think that you're being taken in by somebody, maybe somebody specific, or taken in by maybe like they might think that the spirituality community is playing on your emotions, and just like you're being like deceived or manipulated in some way. That might be something that somebody is thinking about in relation to your connection to spirituality. And then the Knight of Cups reversed is somebody who is not emotionally stable. They're not emotionally balanced, and they might be like emotionally immature, if that resonates. And that could be the energy of somebody who is jealous of you, because you are coming across as somebody who is very emotionally mature and we literally have the word balance. You're very emotionally balanced, you know, and it's like the full moon of like well-developed emotions, you know, but at the same time it's a balanced and grounded energy of somebody with a solid root chakra and an open heart chakra. And you know, I could see somebody in this energy being very jealous of that, because they might recognize that they themselves don't know how to cope with their own emotions, or even express their own emotions. And so they might see that you are able to do that and just be jealous of that. And they might recognize that might be like an innate, you know, like a natural skill that that you have always had, that might have been blocked for a certain period of time in your life, but it's like it is something that comes naturally to you, and it might not be something that comes naturally to this person, and they might be jealous of that. And the other thing is with it's cups, and you know, the Knight of Cups reversed with the addict or shadow addict here, there is a message about substance abuse here. And it could also be in the form of like escapist behaviors in any sense. There is literally a message about substance abuse when this card comes out reversed. So if that's resonating for you, I would take that as confirmation that there might be somebody who's struggling, like actively struggling with an addiction right now, who is jealous of you, because you seem to be so balanced and so like in control of your own life, and wise, emotionally open, expressive, and very grounded at the same time. And I think they're very jealous of that. And then we have the Eight of Cups, or the Eight of Emotions, which makes sense. You know, it resonates with what I was saying. It is like almost a confirmation of what I was saying about the Discovery card in terms of, you know, walking away from things that no longer serve you. That might have been something that you've had to do in the course of your spirituality. It might have been something that was very difficult for you, but having the courage to do that, to walk away from things, people, places, situations, relationships, whatever that means. You might have walked away from this relationship because you might have just like put all that you could into it and then realized that it wasn't good for you or healthy for you, and you might have walked away from this person if that's resonating for you, and they might be jealous of your ability to recognize when something is not healthy for you and walk away from it, cut it off. You know, embody that King of Swords energy of, like, you know, I tried here, but now the reasonable thing to do, the practical thing to do here is to walk away, because it's not, you can't fix this person. That's not your responsibility. You cannot do the shadow work for this person. You are not responsible for healing them. And, you know, and at the end of the day, you do need to prioritize yourself. That is your responsibility. And so, you know, I could see you taking that responsibility seriously and having the courage to leave things behind that are no longer in alignment with your divine path, with your journey of discovery. So I definitely think there's a strong connection there. And this might be something that this person is jealous of because they wish they could do that. They wish they had the courage to do that. And in the current moment, they feel like they don't have the ability to do that, or they're not willing to. And, you know, and your willingness to prioritize your own needs might be something that they're very jealous of. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Cups reversed. So this, again, is giving me the impression that we're dealing with someone here who is like with the Knight of Cups reversed, is emotionally immature. They might not be connected with they might either be like very cut off and not connected with their emotional side, and you know, if they see themselves as a King of Swords and the Queen of Cups reversed, again, that might be somebody who is like analytical and logical to a fault. You know, a King of Swords is a King of Swords has a heart. You know, they're not like a heartless person. They just prefer to make decisions based on logic and reason, right? But there could be some connection here with somebody who is very cut off from their emotions, and that might be one of the reasons why they're really jealous of you, is because you come across as somebody who's very in tune with your emotions and is like very emotionally intelligent, and this person might not be, and they might really struggle with that. There was also an energy here of somebody who might be projecting, because, and especially if they're in this like shadow addict energy here, they might be somebody who tried or tries to use other people's emotions like against them, like they play on your emotions in order to manipulate you, which might be something that they're doing in their addiction, you know, that's not an excuse for that kind of behavior, but that might be something that, you know, with the compromises, integrity, and honesty, they might be somebody who's very emotionally manipulative, in almost like a childish way. They might be somebody who's like very needy or clingy, and or somebody who, like, I mean, you know, if they're going through this kind of thing, they might also have really low self-esteem, and they might get their validation through manipulating other people. Like, this might be somebody who uses like guilt trips, and if you walked away from this person, they might have really tried to hang on to you, and really guilt trip you into staying with them, and it might have been part of your journey, your spiritual journey, and maybe in your journey in terms of learning how to set healthy boundaries, that you know, that this person tried to manipulate you to get you to stay, to get you to feel bad for whatever they're going through. And it might have been very difficult for you to make that, the split from this person. If this was resonating for you, it might have been very difficult for you to walk away. And at the same time, you know, there's a message, like, I want to reiterate, like, and I'm sure you do know this, but it's like, it's not your responsibility. And I think you recognized it wasn't your responsibility. And that you couldn't take on this person's emotions anymore, even though you are very naturally empathic. And again, this might have been like a really hard lesson that you needed to learn in this lifetime. And what I'm seeing is you have learned that lesson. And this person's energy is coming through as the Queen of Cups reversed, as like, you know, they might get their self-esteem by other people taking care of them, instead of stepping into their own power and taking care of themselves. And definitely, like, even with the King of Cups, or sorry, the King of Swords here, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of water energy. We have the Pisces, this dragon from Neptune, and then these 3 Cups cards here. There's just a lot of emotional energy here. And so like, this might have been like a very emotionally fraught connection. Like, I am getting the sense this is probably somebody that you do know. Like, I'm not necessarily getting the sense that this is somebody who's kind of like watching you from afar, unless it is like an ex and you've been no contact with this person, or maybe a family member that you've had to cut off, or someone that you haven't spoken to in a really long time who might be watching your social media. They, like, I am getting the sense you probably have had like a personal relationship with this person, and that you had to walk away because it wasn't healthy for you anymore. You know, and that, again, they probably behaved pretty immaturely when you were together and when you left. I don't think that they were able to really cope with how that made them feel, and it wasn't your responsibility to help them cope with that, you know. And I think that you obviously did the right thing for yourself in that situation, and it's not just okay, it is very much in alignment with your divine path and your divine purpose to learn how to prioritize your own needs, because that's your responsibility with everybody. You know, that's prioritizing my needs is my responsibility. You know, and you know, we can enter relationships in a balanced way, like with an equal counterpart, the 2 fish on this card. You know, because we both understand that we are responsible for meeting our own needs and for making sure that everybody's needs are being met equally in the relationship, whatever that means. So that might be part of this life lesson that you've been learning, that this person is jealous of of your ability to do that, and the fact that you have the courage to do that, because that's not an easy journey to go on, especially for somebody who's very highly empathic. To learn how to set healthy boundaries can be extremely difficult, especially when we're dealing with somebody in our lives who's struggling with an addiction we might have developed a codependency with. Like that can be an extremely difficult lesson to learn. So I definitely think that there are things that this person admires about you, that they wish they had these attributes in themselves. I'm going to say, at least at this point in time, I don't know that this person would ever express that to you, but that is, I think, definitely something that's coming through here. Okay. Okay, that leapt out of the deck. All right, so we have the Devil there, and that is some Capricorn energy, if that is relevant. And, you know, and the Devil talks about attachments, and that can include things like addiction. You know, if that message is resonating, I would just take that as additional confirmation, that this person might still be struggling with an addiction or addictive behavior or compulsive behavior, self-destructive behavior, however we want to classify it. They might be struggling with that. They might see how you have broken out of a similar pattern of behavior, whether that was if you were struggling with an addiction yourself or a compulsive behavior yourself, or whether it was even just breaking away from codependency with this person, and going on a spiritual journey to regain balance, you know, re-stabilize your root chakra, find your own sense of stability and security, be able to connect with your innate wisdom, open up your emotional body without, you know, without being boundaryless, you know, without being so open that people take advantage of you, you know, using your voice to express yourself in ways that are meaningful for you and speak your authentic truth. They've seen you go through this journey, and they haven't gone through the same journey, and I think they're jealous. They're jealous of that, and again, you don't have to take that on. You know, because obviously those things are this person's responsibility. Like, I know I've said that a bunch of times in this reading. I just want to reiterate it in case it's helpful for somebody to hear. This person on the card does have butterfly wings, and there's a butterfly there as well, which butterfly is a symbol of transformation. So, you know, this person can see the way that you have transformed your life and transformed your inner world, and they have not done the same. And I just think that this is like on this person's mind a lot. Something that just popped into my head was the Eye of Sauron, and just looking at this. I don't know if that's relevant for somebody. I just thought I would mention it. And yeah, and I mean, this card, it does talk about attachments of all types, and that can be for better or worse. But, you know, if we literally have the reversed, the Shadow Addict and the Knight of Cups reversed, there is a connection to addiction here. If that's not resonating for you, this can just be talking about unhealthy attachments. You can talk about healthy attachments. This could also be confirming, you know, if this is somebody who was a member of your family, if this is somebody who you might have at one point been married to. This, you know, with the Devil can talk about marriage contracts. It can talk about business contracts. This might have been somebody that you knew through work. But there was like an attachment here. And with the Eight of Cups here, I'm seeing that you had the courage to walk away. This person might still be feel very attached to you. It might still be in your energy field, so it might be an idea to do a cord cutting ceremony, just so that this person is not like tugging on your energy anymore. Maybe ask your spirit guides for help in detaching this person's energy from yours, if that's something that is helpful for you. But that's an additional thing coming through. And you know, the basic message of you having gone through some sort of transformation to get away from an unhealthy attachment in your life, I think that's the basic message for the reason why we have the Devil card here. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands reversed, or the Knight of Inspiration reversed. With these two reversed Knights, I also think that you might not be in contact with this person. You might have blocked them, and or there might have been some sort of conversation or something that this person wanted to say to you, and they might not have the courage or ability to say something to you. That's just because we have 2 knights that are reversed. So I just wanted to say that. And then with the Knight of Wands reversed, like this is a very impulsive, chaotic energy. And it would resonate for me with somebody whose life is not balanced. You know, they might still be in the chaos of addiction. They might still be in this chaos of self-destructive energy. And they're not dealing with their emotions, they're engaging in escapist behaviors, and they're being very impulsive, and like in an imbalanced, unhealthy way that is not serving them. So they might be engaging in reckless behavior or dangerous behavior even. And you know, and even if you have blocked this person or blocked communication, this is the energy of somebody who will text you when they're drunk. And I don't know if that's happened to you, but that would be something that would resonate with me with the Knight of Wands reversed here. It's just like this person is just like not, right now they're not in an energy where they're making good decisions. And they wouldn't be in this King of Swords energy. And that might be why they're jealous of you, because they can see you in this. And the king, this is the king. It's like the most authoritative of the court cards. You know, it's like the highest authority. So they can see that you are the highest authority in your own life. You're not letting other people control your decision-making process. You're doing what is right for you, while at the same time remaining open to connections and relationships and to having emotional connections with people. You are still making it priority to make sure that your own needs are met. And I think that's something that this person is very jealous of, because they're in such a chaotic energy right now. They might, you know, with these 2 knights, like I'm just getting the sense that somebody's kind of like all over the place. You know, and I could see why they would be jealous of you, because you are coming across as somebody who's so very balanced, so very in tune with the universe. And they might see you as, like with these 2 fish kind of swimming around, they might see you as somebody who's very zen. And if their life is full of chaos and bad decisions and self-destructive behavior, they want what you have. They want the lifestyle you have, but they might not be willing or capable right now of putting that work in, because they're so avoidant of their own emotions, and they might not even understand what their own emotional needs are with this Queen of Cups reversed here. And they might understand they need to go through some sort of transformation of some sort, but they might be feeling lost and like they don't even know where to begin right now. But again, I just want to reiterate for the last time, you do not need to take that on. Obviously, that is work that this person has to do. That's something they have to come to on their own. So I know you probably already know that, but I just feel the need to reiterate that. And with that said, I am going to end your reading here, pile 4. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. That really helps me out. Please comment down below. Let me know how it resonated for you. And if you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 4, and I do hope to see you in my next video.